Yo, what's going on, guys? Oh my God, I've been watching way too much Sunny in Philadelphia. Don't mind me. You come, bro. I'm just saying, if anyone takes longer than a May here, bro, I'm a bodyguard your ass. That's all I'm saying. Guys, welcome to the Suit Up Geeks draft. And guys, this is our Suit Up Geeks fantasy draft. And yes, before you ask, it's a very broad concept in fantasy, and there will be plenty of fighting tonight, guys. Don't you worry. I've got my Arnold Palmer spiked lemonade, not only to spike my brain with the alcohol, to maybe actually spike my brain in real life, because this is going to be a bit fucking doozy over here. But guys, I just want to say welcome to season 2. We wrapped up season 1 just back in April. Rachel won that. Congratulations to her. And now we start all over again right here. Who will claim that first spot in the lottery for the season 2 finals? But without further ado, what's going on, Jalyn?
What's up, y'all? So yeah, I have the first pick here. I'm super nervous, to be honest with you. There's like 2 or 3 movies that I'm bouncing back and forth with in my mind. But right before we went on air, I just had to take a deep breath to say, you know what? This is where I'm going to go with my pick. So I'm actually going to go with the original Wizard of Oz, 1939. Yeah, would have won Best Picture if it wasn't for this little movie called Gone with the Wind. Set a lot of, just set the bar high, won 2 Academy Awards, held up pretty well over time. So I'm going to go with Wizard of Oz.
Wow, okay, it's funny. I was looking at my list. I'm like, man, I wonder if no one's ever going to pick Wizard of Oz. It might have to be a last round pick. And no, you snatched that motherfucker away from me like no tomorrow. Yeah, bro, you telling me I ain't even gonna start, because there's been plenty of things that have been last in these drafts that should not have been last. And we all know that. And guys, you know what? With season 2, we got new people. What's going on, Aaron?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is kind of a nice, perfect setup here, I think, because my first draft, and because Jalyn decided to go crazy, I get to take my number 1 movie of all time in my first draft. Like, this does not get any better than this for me. So I'm not going to overthink it. And I'm going to take The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, because it is the right choice. And I love Dorothy, but sorry, man. Sorry, man. You botched it.
That was bound to happen. I mean, I can't say shocked. But I do want to say, guys, before we continue, we are doing a new rule set within season 2 where we take a category and we limit it by not allowing our contestants to pick something within that realm. And for fantasy, we are not allowing anyone to pick any comic book films or Star Wars. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Because I was thinking of Star Trek for some reason. I've been watching a lot of Picard stuff.
Damn, don't upset people. Don't upset people.
Guys, stop, guys. Stop interrupting me, please. Please. Oh my God! But without further ado, we've got Baby Grogu, also known as Debilicious. What's going on, you tasty little motherfucker?
What is up, guys? Thank you, everyone, for joining. Congratulations, Rachel, on winning our Tournament of Champions in Season 1. I've been waiting for this fantasy draft for so freaking long. Christian knows it. I know it. We've been talking about it for months, but it is here. It is now, and I'm happy to make my selection here. That was a great pick, Aaron, because that's where I was going to go. But I'm going to go with 1B, because I do think Fellowship is better. It's the better Rings film, but it's right this much, a little bit less, but it is the most monumental fantasy film of all time. It is Return of the King. I am psyched, baby. Let's go.
And the second movie is officially down and out within the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I might just skip Loretto because I don't like the way he's honestly, I don't like the way he's looking into the camera. It's kind of
Don't
scary.
you dare! I have glorious purpose to make the selection I shall make.
Okay, Grandmaster, or whoever you want to be. What is your monumental first pick that's gonna change the board?
Actually, man, these are Loki horns, man. Come on. But,
Wow, really? I
Yeah,
didn't
with the
notice.
program, Ryan.
but hey, I want to thank you, Jalyn, for going Wizard of Oz and open up the doors for the Lord of the Rings to slide down a little bit. So, although I agree with Deibs, I think Fellowship of the Ring is my personal favorite of the trilogy. They're all amazing, and I will gladly take the glory that is Two Towers. Helm's Deep, the works, Saruman versus the Ents. It's just wonderful, wonderful fantasy cinema.
Why am I
And
not
without
surprised?
further ado, these last 3 picks simply straight capital Fs to all 3 of you. Across the board. I just want to say that for behalf of everyone else here. But you know what? I'm gonna go with straight heat right now. Like, you guys might need some fireproof suits to handle this shit right here. And I'm gonna go with the Princess Bride for my first pick.
Nice pick.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was my
I
one.
was gonna go with the Lord of the Rings. But
Fantastic
you guys can blame these last 3 for making me make the hard decision. And with other hard decisions, unfortunately, we've got one of the other hosts here today, Amanda. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm stressed.
Hi.
I have half of the list, so we'll see what happens with this. For my first one, I am going to go with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I'm going to choose Narnia.
Great choice.
I loved
Good
it.
choice.
I'm just kidding.
Mr. Tumnus, James McAvoy.
Prince Caspian.
Yes,
Oh.
Prince Caspian. I was not talking about Ben Barnes, but yes, the first one.
Did you know this was the first round? Just curious.
Yeah, I did.
I
I'm
No.
thinking Narnia. I think it's
Aaron,
I know some other ones. Relax.
Don't worry. I ask her if she knows where she is all the time, and that's clear she doesn't. But
No.
without further ado,
It's vampires.
guys,
They're
we've had some straight fire picks, but I think we need to go a little bit more formal with this next pick. What's going on, my man?
What's going on? Glad to be back. I'll be quick. I didn't think this would fall to me, but I guess because Wizard of Oz went, but I'll take it because I don't think it's going to make it back around. I need to look for my glass of rum because it's always gone, so I'm
I
taking
don't blame you.
the first Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Oh, nice.
Smart.
Nicely done,
Good
Formal.
choice.
Good job.
Good choice.
You stole it from me.
It's
That's my
fine.
shit.
Oh, Lord.
And we've
Long as-
got one. We've already got one trilogy down tonight in the first round. We've got 1/3 of another trilogy down there. So we'll see what's going on. But what is going on, Christian?
Not much, guys. So I think this is no surprise to anyone. I got to choose Harry Potter as my first one because
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings has been taken. I mean, I would have taken it if I was a little bit farther up, but I'm gonna go with The Prisoner of Azkaban as my first choice.
Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, got
Way to
it.
go.
Love it.
Ass.
Love it. Love it. No, who said ass? That's inappropriate. Please stop. No cursing on the podcast. Please shut the fuck up. Please. Guys, stop laughing because we've got the wonderful and here. What is going
My
on?
bad, Amanda.
Hey everyone, Mandale View, young adult fantasy author. So, trying to
Better
stick to
bring
my
in the heat
roots.
with this
today.
pick. Better bring in the heat.
My book is A Tale of Ashes, and the sequel is coming out in July. So everyone, stay tuned for that. So for my first pick, I'm kind of winging it tonight, but my first pick, I think I'm gonna have to go with something a little in my vein. So I think I'm gonna go with Percy Jackson.
Wow.
Well
I
done.
like it. I like it. You know what?
Which Percy
the first
Jackson?
one. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Lightning McQueen.
That you know what? It's a good film. I like Percy Jackson. It's a good kids film. You know what? I'll take it.
Of course you'd like it.
Oh Amanda, you're really trying to start with me.
I'm
Right
holding tongue right now. I'm holding my tongue.
I don't know why you're holding.
I don't want to
your
be
tongue.
muted, so I'm holding my tongue.
That is true. That is true. What is going on, Ninja? You've got the next 2 picks on
I
this
do.
one here.
Yeah. Hey, my name's Ben. You guys can follow me on Twitter at ninja_neb. Also, my letterboxed, Benjamin_weeb. Anyway, more importantly, What's the first pick? I don't know how you guys let this fall this far. It's Pan's Labyrinth. There's no other choice. You ask me about fantasy, and I'm like, shoot, this is really relevant because Nazism, fascism, and the power of stories to combat that.
Hey, dude, I want to congratulate you because if all of Lord of the Rings went first 3, I would have went Pan's Labyrinth at 4. So good job, man.
Legit one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's where I was hoping it would fall if Pirates didn't.
Yeah. Now, I've got an Animation Nation. I'm deciding right now in my head, do I want to go with my first of many animated films or my last live action film? And the answer is animation all the way. Lion King. It's got King in the title. If you want to debate me on this, I'll fight. But you say fantasy, I say kings.
Well, you have 10 seconds to build your case.
I'm letting you have that.
Animals, I guess.
I know.
Talking animals, it's kings. It's literally Hamlet, but if it was animals. And Hamlet's already pretty low fantasy. You know?
I think it should go to a vote. I think it should go to a vote.
Hold up. Yeah. Guys, put your hands up if you think it should count towards his pick. Okay, you are fucked. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, if I can't take that one, I'll go with Beauty and the Beast. This did Rachel pretty well recently, and I think this one's even more fantasy because there's literally talking teapots. So,
give him the Lion King guy.
Live action Beauty and the Beast, right?
You know what?
Live
I
action?
think we had a better case for Toy Story than we do for Lion King.
That is true. That is very true.
Oh, Christ.
And what is your second pick?
All right. Well, sticking in the same vein of what I write, another movie based off of a book, young adult fantasy, Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, dang it.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
You're stealing from my pile. I will take back my throne.
I claim all young adult fantasy.
I love it.
Amen.
Kill it, girl. Kill it.
Christian, bring in some heat, my man.
All right. So I was
Christian.
actually, for my
No,
next pick,
Christian.
I was battling between, be quiet, Ryan O'Toole. Anyway, I'm going to have to go with The Never Ending Story as my second pick.
The never-ending
Well done.
story. I love it, baby. I love the pick. I love it so much. But you know what? I love as much as that pick. I love Formal's second pick. But I gotta say, Formal, if I don't love it, I'm gonna tell you, and I will mute you for the next two picks. So,
But
it better be a good pick. That's all I'm saying.
I think it is, and just because it seems like a few animated films were gonna go already, so I think I'll just join into that. I'm gonna go similar to Anne and go toward Japan, but I'm gonna go with Spirited Away instead.
Son of a.
There we go. Now we're getting serious.
It's the
Awesome
best.
pick.
Animation
That's what I was
Nation
gonna-
will take back its
Animation.
pieces. Stop stealing.
Animation
Stop stealing
Nation,
Studio
baby.
Ghibli from me.
Okay, I guess we can let Amanda go next.
Oh my god, thanks. I'm gonna pick the better Pirates of the Caribbean film because it's one of the best sequels of all time, and it is Dead Man's Chest.
Oh,
That is the better one.
well. I mean, it's like a 1A.
I think it's the better. No, I love Dead Man's Chest.
Well,
more than
Amanda, that's why we know it's not the best one because you think it's the best.
Stop.
That's how we've clarified it now.
It's my favorite.
But I don't know how
I'm holding my
much.
tongue until the after party.
It's fine. Hold it.
Amanda, you do realize people were joking when they were saying start with your sixth pick and work your way up to your first pick, right?
Oh, roast me.
No, I was joking that.
So I gotta say, I really love Harry Potter, and Christian stole my first Harry Potter film.
Well, it's actually the best Harry Potter film.
No, I don't disagree. It is, but this is what I believe to be the second. But I'm not in tune with the fan base, so I hope everyone loves this one because I love it, and I'm gonna do Deathly Hallows Part 2. Hey, you know what? I think it has a really good fucking conclusion for a story when you look at the grand scheme of these big universes that have been built. overall.
You're
And
just
I-
missing all the character development, but that happened in part
No,
one. Thanks for
that's
sending it my
fine.
way.
Really weird way to spell half, bro.
That's fine.
What
What
Damn.
about you, Loretto?
Oh man, this did
Loretto's
not go the way
lost.
I thought it would. But you know what? Considering how Miyazaki heavy this went, I gotta go with one of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen. It's my favorite Hayao Miyazaki from Studio Ghibli. It's got an amazing score by Joe Hisashi. Princess Mononoke.
Nice.
You're all just taking all my favorite Studio Ghibli films.
I mean, you could have taken them too.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Like, I'm just not gonna take him though, man.
This
I'm
isn't
not
just a
gonna take
war
him.
now. This is annihilation.
Well,
As a
usually
movie-
people wait for animation until a little bit later on, but since fantasy's so, all over the place, I'm glad to see it. People are picking animation early.
And there's nothing more fantastical than the ever so Endorious Debalicious. What is going on?
Man, dropping like your vocabulary. Glorious.
Thank you.
All right. Great pick for him. I was going to go with Spirited Away. That movie blew me away in the second round. Awesome selection there. I'm going to go with a movie I cannot believe is still on the board. Cannot believe. And I'm just so happy to make this movie my selection. It's not the first. It is a sequel. It is animated. The best DreamWorks movie ever. How to Train Your Dragon #2 is going to.
Ooh.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay, that's not where I thought you were going with that, but I fuck with the pick, Deibs. That's what I'm trying to say. I like the pick.
You had two better animated sequels from DreamWorks. I thought you were
Bang,
going
bang,
for.
bang,
Did
bang,
you
bang.
pick
I didn't
How to Train
pick
Your
Word.
Dragon 2?
Still
Word.
gotta
Blue
tell
Panda
me.
all the way.
Word.
You guys are giving our picks away.
You know it's not gonna make it back to you, Ben.
Yeah,
Now.
it's definitely
Damn.
not making it back to
Y'all
you.
be giving each other these ideas. That's why I didn't see my master list.
But you know what I gotta say, Aaron? Hopefully you can help settle the odds for everybody. Make us all feel better with this next pick and not take any of ours.
Well, I'm nervous because I don't know how Jalyn feels about anime, and so I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with this first to be safe. Since all of the Miyazaki's off the board, that's fine because I'll take my favorite anime film of all time by the better director, Makoto Shinkai, and I will take Your Name. Thank you. very much.
Oh,
It's
he
so
went
good.
there. Oh, he went
It's so
there.
good.
He went there. He went there.
All right.
He went there.
And Jalyn, the heat is back on you. Your back is tense. Your muscles are fucking knotted. You've got the next two picks.
My
What are-
muscles are not nodding. I've unclenched my jaw. I got a lot of flack for my first pick. So I'm going to go with a fan favorite because I don't know how these polls are going to go. Sometimes you got to go with the Academy Awards, sometimes popularity. So I'm going to keep with the animation. I'm going to go with Shrek. Nobody says Shrek. I like Shrek.
Damn.
Good. Why are you laughing, Amanda? Why are my picks flopping?
No,
I-
Jalyn.
I-
Don't pay attention to
We're
Amanda.
working
Don't
on
pay
it.
attention to Amanda.
I like the pick.
She's a
She's
mean-spirited person. We're
Yeah,
working on it. It's
She's
okay.
very pessimistic, and that's why she's on like maybe every other show of ours. She
I
brings in
was-
the very negative vibes.
I mean,
a
she's
lot.
gonna pick
No,
Shrek
no,
forever
no,
anyway.
I don't want her to get.
We have an award system.
Yeah, and she doesn't win any. It's fine. But Jalyn,
Damn.
please, what is your second pick, my man?
I don't know what the draft board is like for y'all. So this is gonna have to be my third round pick. But I'm gonna go with Edward Scissorhands.
Nice.
Wow.
Fan favorite of mine.
I was
Watch It a
curious
Lot
if
coming
anyone was
up,
gonna
so I'm
take
gonna
that.
go with Edward Scissorhands.
Wow, I'm shocked. I'm surprised someone took that this early. I was at least anticipating it for the later rounds, maybe as a safe pick. But Jalyn, I commend you for those last two picks. But Aaron, what is your next pick, my man?
Well, to keep with everybody who's been picking sequels recently, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Talking Bear and take my marmalade-loving friend, Paddington 2.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say Brother Bear too.
Are we gonna fight about this one?
I
As
love
this was mentioned as a
y'all.
contentious pick.
So I don't know if you guys seen Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but that
Paddington 2
film
made me become a better man.
influenced me to see Paddington 2 finally, and it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
I still haven't watched
Is it a fantasy pick?
No.
No.
And this is coming from me.
How do you figure it's an anamorphic talking bear that is having an adventure?
Then Winnie the
Who
You all
the-
shot down the Lion
On
King.
what planet is it not fantasy?
Yeah, I'm okay.
On what
Like,
planet is it
this
not
is the
animated?
same levels.
Just saying.
Appa approves.
I say
He
both.
said Papa.
I'll stand by it.
Who thinks it is fantasy? Raise your hand. Well, Aaron,
Are you kidding me?
just like the other
Just like
one.
that.
Thank you.
We're just gonna vote on what we don't want other people to get. I see how. Okay, we're gonna do it that way.
Wait,
All right. All
Now
right.
he's understanding. No, I'm just joking.
Okay. No.
He's finally understanding how this works.
Y'all are crazy, but okay. Let's see. So, with that in mind, I'm trying to decide if I want to go film critic-y or the people. We'll go with the people. I'll take
Wait,
the
time
Mummy.
out. Did you just get denied?
Yeah.
yeah,
did.
just
Paddington
put
two got
cancel that.
You didn't even
I'm
raise your hand,
appalled.
though. So
You didn't even raise your hand.
You didn't raise your hand. I literally
The god of
did.
mischief does not approve.
You're literally
You
the
didn't even
worst
vote
god
for
of
it.
mischief ever, bro.
It was all.
He's like, goodbye.
It was all in favor. No.
We're so sorry.
Even you voted no. God of mischief.
No, honestly, I wasn't paying attention. I missed it. Sorry, guys.
it's all right. It wouldn't,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been.
God
It
of
was just
mischief,
us.
not mischief.
I'll replace it with the Mummy.
Ooh.
Great
I like
choice.
that pick. I like that pick. I know Deibs' ass is a little clenched right now because of that pick.
It's a
But
good-
Deibs, what is your next pick, my cutie?
All
patootie?
right. We'll see how this goes. My number 3 pick is, again, I'm sticking to my heart here. I don't know if I'm going to win, but I don't care. I'm going to go The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I was wondering if someone was going to choose a Christmas movie
That's a good one.
or
Yeah.
Halloween, whichever way you proceed.
Whichever way your boat floats, who knows? But
I got it. I'm good.
no, yeah, you're good.
I'm not going to
I
argue
mean,
that.
I
It really
don't-
has different.
I don't know an
types of
actual tree that I can just go into another fucking world based off of Holiday in. But if you do, please let me know because I'd love to pay for that shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, Loretto, you seem like you're done with your work. I know you get paid by the minute and per word, but what is your next pick, my man?
So this was really interesting. I'm actually surprised how light people have gone with one of the premier franchises of this time, but I can't let this fall any farther. It's honestly like one of my favorite entries. And it has one of the greatest wizard battles of all time. We finally see Dumbledore go head to head with Voldemort. So I'm taking the Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, I thought he was going to
Oh,
say
that
Grindelwald.
one-
I thought you were going to Grindelwald. I was like, wow.
Don't worry, it's written by the
Whoa.
same person who did Crimes of Grindelwald. So,
I
That's
thought you
just
were going to
kidding.
say
That is
Secrets of
completely false.
Dumbledore.
I'm wrong.
I thought you were going to say Secrets of Dumbledore.
Bye.
I thought you were
was
gonna
like-
say that too.
I was like,
okay,
whoa,
no
no.
problem, Loretto, no problem.
All right, so my next pick, it's got to be Inside Out.
Okay, what is all these Pixar picks?
Is Inside Out fantasy? Because I was inclined to think no.
Yeah,
I
if
don't know.
Lion King is
All right, we need a vote.
If
We need a vote.
we voted Lion King, no, I wouldn't. I don't know.
Oh, Inside
Yeah.
Out's definitely
I don't-
fantasy,
I-
but I'm voting no out of spite.
Yes, Aaron.
Damn.
I'll make my argument. Fucking Lion King's about just animals, like actual animals in Africa and shit killing each other. Yeah, that's real life shit. Just an animal.
Not the
What?
part of Lion King.
Inside
Bro,
Out's about feelings.
Hula dance.
That was
Guys,
the
Are you
listen,
saying
Mark
feelings are
Mills version of
fake?
Lion King I've
Because
ever
my
heard.
repressed
Feelings
sister
are-
might
I'm
agree, but
gonna
I
tell
don't.
you that my feelings aren't physical. They're not
Hurt my
physical
feelings.
people,
Right, but
In my
like
brain.
it's been turned. Okay.
and they don't walk
I get it.
around. I'm just so you
Okay.
guys get Deibs. You can contend the vote. I have a backup, but
I abstain.
Wait, what?
so
Wait,
All in
We're
favor of
talking-
including
Yeah.
Inside Out as a fantasy film, say aye. Or raise your hand.
you guys all suck fucking assholes.
All right,
So-
two trash.
What was the phrase you used? Get fucked.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this one, but Groundhog's Day
Yeah,
fantasy.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Yeah?
that's fair.
100%.
Stretch.
Much
Yeah.
better selection.
Okay, Groundhog's Day. That was my
Cool.
backup. Baby.
Cool,
That
cool.
was my backup.
That's my backup too. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to go a little animated, but if you guys want to be dill pickles tonight, I guess.
Actually, it's Phil. No, it's
Oh
It's
man,
actually
Christian's muted. Oh man. Christian's muted. But Amanda Carhorn last name. What is going on? What is your next pick?
I'm gonna pick the better Harry Potter movie.
No,
And
that's how you know it's not the better one.
It is because Goblet of Fire is funny, balanced, and has one of the best moments. And it's when everything shifts is at the end of Goblet of Fire. So I love it so much.
That is true. It's not
Thank
the best,
you.
but it's true. Top
It's the
three.
best for me.
Top three.
Top three. Yeah, well, I can't take prisoners. Top five. Top 8. Let's do that.
Amanda, I love that pick, and here's why. People that think that Order of Phoenix is great also
No,
would have
not.
just said Order, like Prisoner of Azkaban's better. People that love Goblet of Fire are adamant about it. I think you cashed in.
Thank
No,
you.
I love Goblet of Fire. It would have
so
been my
good.
backup if someone swapped.
It's top 3.
Actually,
I
no, I
love
like
Goblet.
Half-Blood Prince.
My personal favorite tablet.
Okay, Amanda,
Anyways, sorry.
you've gone over a minute. You're muted. Holy shit! Oh my god! Finally, no, your next form. Well, you got 20 seconds now for your next pick.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the 1980s. It involves Frank Oz and also Warwick Davis, excuse me. It's not Star Wars, but Labyrinth.
Yeah,
Nice,
baby.
nice.
And it has David Bowie.
But he's
David
wrong.
Bowie for the win.
Okay, Christian, I want you to fucking think about this one. My
I
man.
mean, I already know what the pick is. And I'm
Okay,
very surprised this has gone this far because the best
Spicy.
sequel to any DreamWorks is Shrek 2.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Shrek
Better than the original
2.
though.
Because of
Definitely the
Puss
best
in
track.
Boots.
Sorry, Jalyn.
Because of Puss in
And
Boots.
the best soundtrack ever.
I need a hero.
I need a hero coming.
I love it so much.
Okay, and what is your next pick?
All right, so going a little bit younger than my demographic, but I'm going with The Witches. Great movie,
Yes.
great fantasy.
Wait. Which
new one?
though?
Anne
Yeah.
Hathaway or
Which
the old
one?
one?
Oh,
Or
God.
The old one.
I hope not. It's the new one.
I figured I was gonna go with the old one, like it's the classic.
Smart.
Okay,
Okay,
I mean, we're just
okay.
trying to trick you. We're just trying to trick you. That's really what we're
We
trying
need
to
to
do.
clarify.
Sorry, which one's the old one? I letterboxed it,
No
and there's
way.
like 20 different responses.
You know what?
Wait,
That's
what?
Give me a year.
It's with the kid from Stuart Little.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Put your
it's with the
picks in
mother
the chat.
from
John-
Adam's
Kristen,
Family.
what was your
as
pick?
well.
Mine's Shrek 2.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks. All right,
Formal, what was your pick? Sorry.
Labyrinth.
There we go. Okay.
Awesome.
It has
awesome.
the lady who played
Morticia, I think.
Morticia, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's
that's right.
rating it. But Ben, what are your next two picks?
Angelica Houston.
Yeah.
So good. I love her.
She's
Wonderful.
great.
I will add that in later.
Ben's gonna go
Um,
with Twilight and Aragon. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I claimed all young adult fantasies.
Hell yeah.
All right, once everyone's done talking, I need to get
Damn.
back on Animation Nation. People have been stealing some good Ghibli stuff, but y'all let Kiki's Delivery Service go.
Damn it! Oh my god, he took it. I'm sorry.
And I will make a defense if needed, but it's literally, like Miyazaki said, it's a fantasy of what if the world wars didn't happen in Europe with a young witch, a talking cat, and like everything in between. It's about burnout, and it's applicable as hell right now in my life, so it's mine.
Aw.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No
Cool.
problem.
And if that's good, then we're gonna go one further. And you know, everyone's talking about the best DreamWorks sequel. And you're right. You're all right. Except Kung Fu Panda 2 exists and has some of the best fight scenes of all time, while still being a cool as hell movie about a lot of deep stuff. Instant win.
I love those picks. What about you, Ann? What is your number 4 pick?
I'm kind of surprised this fell this far, so I'm gonna go with another one based off of the book, Stardust.
Oh,
Wow,
I love
Stardust.
that.
That was
One
a
of the
good
few movies
one.
where I will say
Seen
the
that,
movie
seen that.
was better than the book. I'm sorry, Neil Gaiman, but would be better.
Shouts out Matthew Vaughn, who did that before he did X-Men First Class.
Wow.
Big
Thank you
facts.
for thanks for the fun facts, Loretto. Coming in with clutch. Just like Cineleodon, also known as Christian, also known as Film Optics. What is your next pick?
All right, so I'm actually very surprised this one kind of went far as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Grail.
Yeah, I was hoping I would get it, but that's all right.
No!
So far down. I was
You
like,
smell like elderberries.
just only flesh wound.
Okay. Formal, I want you to think heavily
That's a
about
great
this next pick.
All right,
Heavily.
I'm gonna go. I'll be quick. It's technically kind of based on a book, and it's kind of nostalgic to me. But whatever, similar to Deibs, I'm gonna go with my heart. But I'm gonna go. Rufio. Hook.
Nice. Great pick.
Oh,
fucking
love it,
Hook,
man.
fucking
Love it.
Hook. What about you, Amanda? What is your fourth pick?
This one's my personal favorite. I know a lot of people hate it because the book is better, but I absolutely love what Steven Spielberg did with Ready Player One. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I'm gonna pick RPO because I love it, and I think it's underappreciated. Everyone is way too quiet right now. What is wrong, world?
5 stars.
Ready Player One.
You got my vote.
Well, technically,
3.5, but
I like it. I like
I would
it.
request a vote.
all right. This might be my most recent pick on my list in terms of releases, but I'm gonna go Everything Everywhere All at Once.
see, I was
smart.
thinking
On
about
this
that
one?
earlier. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's an
Yeah.
audience pick right there.
Is
Yeah,
that not a more sci-fi film? Because I was inclined that it
No,
was.
it's
not.
definitely. I think it's fantasy.
I think it's like,
I would
it's
say
like
Ready Player
comedy,
One,
sci-fi. It's a
more
lot of
sci-fi,
things.
to be
Is
honest.
Ready
It goes
Player
to different
One of-
multiverses that does different weird things that are
Which
fantasy
is
like.
sci-fi.
I thought Ready
I
Player
mean-
One was top 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
again,
think I personally would say both of the last 2 picks are sci-fi. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
but
bit my
at least
tongue,
Ready
but
Player
actually,
One.
You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
If we want to vote on it, yeah.
I mean, you can.
I would
say
actually
vote
say
on
it's
it.
more of a comedy more than anything.
So
else,
I'm
but-
gonna say, if she got Ready Player One, I should get Everything. Everywhere.
No,
is
there's a
All at
big
Once.
difference between those two movies. Namely,
Ryan.
if Everything Everywhere All at Once was in the draft, I would have picked that first round because it's one of the greatest films of the year.
What you
I thought
doing?
it wasn't in because it fits way too many genres, and
Well,
even
you
on
could've
Rotten
asked.
Tomatoes, it's like the 4th slot is fantasy, and that I'm like, But
I mean, we can do a vote.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Who thinks that it shouldn't go to
Should not.
fantasy?
should
For Ready
not.
Player One.
I mean, now I feel
No.
bad.
Everything
No,
Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at
Everything
Once.
everywhere all at once.
Oh.
It
I mean,
shouldn't be
it's
fantasy.
really like
Should
a,
not.
I mean, it's a blend of genres, so it's like I don't think it's one more than the other because like it is comedy, it is sci-fi, and there's a lot of fantasy elements as well. So it's like
I say
it's
that
not
is
a
your
right
point.
choice, but
is
it's not a wrong
sci-fi.
choice either.
There was a hot dog universe. I don't know. I think it's fantasy.
Yeah,
Absolutely fantasy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say fantasy.
I don't know about Ready
Congratulations.
Player One though. That's
You got our
that's
first
pretty
guess.
hard.
If you want to
Yeah.
vote on
You gotta
RPO,
vote.
go ahead. Vote on RPO.
Do you really call it RPO? Do people call it RPO? Because that's not what
I call it
I
Brandon
just say
Galatian
short
now.
form, which is
I
easier.
think the way I
You
call
said it
Ready
like
Player
3
One
times.
is trash.
I was like, what?
Oh, hey.
Go ahead, guys, vote. Is it fantasy? Raise your hands if it is.
I think it's sci-fi. I think it's sci-fi.
No,
I'd say it's more
stop.
sci-fi. I'm
Fine.
sorry, man.
Both of them.
Fine.
I say no
God.
to both.
All right, man, you gotta pick
That's
again.
the way you feel about it.
Ryan's got the right idea. Good job,
But then
Ryan.
again, it's like I actually consider everything.
Ryan
Everywhere
O'Toole, not
all
the
at
Ryan
once
hosting.
more
No.
So how do we
That
feel
hurts.
about Alita Battle Angel?
Oh my god!
Oh no! We're not doing
mean,
this again.
Technically, couldn't Manda take every Ryan's pick because technically she's supposed to be before him?
I could do
Yeah,
that.
but
but
you
totally
guys
could.
decided
It
to
would
bring
be
up the fact
hilarious.
afterwards that
I don't wanna
She
do
needs
that
all the help
today.
she can get with what she's drafting.
Benjamin, no. I know Twitter. I know Twitter. Trust. I'm gonna pick Alita Battle Angel.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Ben, don't underestimate that movie. That's all I'll say. Don't underestimate that movie. Loretto, what is your fourth pick, my man?
Man,
Or
y'all
don't
threw me
answer
for a loop a little bit here. Hold on.
I really did. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I
Wow.
really wanted Monty Python. No, and that
Oh.
hurt, Christian. I didn't say anything.
I'm sorry,
I was like, oh, I love Monty Python, the Holy Grail. I was just watching it, I
You
need
really
a
threw him
shrubbery,
man.
the guy of knee. Anyways, okay, so let's see here. Labyrinth's gone. Shit. Okay, I can go 2 ways here. I was gonna dip back into the animated pool, but have at it, Benjamin. I'm not gonna steal any of yours. This one might be up for debate. You know what? I need it because I need an epic filmmaker. That's kind of where I go with these drafts, and it's my favorite of the trilogy, and it deals with the Grail. So I'm going with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indy's journey for the Grail. You guys can vote on it if you want, but I mean, it has the Sean Connery gets brought back to life. So.
I mean, we quite literally included the Mummy in this list. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
more
yeah.
grave robbing is pretty
Yeah.
in that tone.
Well, okay.
Vote.
Yeah,
Ryan,
he
you don't
enters,
get to say
enters
anything.
a temple in
I'm
the
just
film,
thinking. I'm
There
just
was
thinking.
There's fantasy elements here. So.
I'll give it.
I
to
think
him.
it's just
I'll
an
give it to him.
adventure film. I wouldn't say fantasy.
I agree. I think it's just one small aspect. But
It-
I have a backup if you guys vote it down. I have a backup.
I'm
It is
voting.
okay, if you have
I'm-
backup, I got no problem voting that bitch down. What?
Yeah, I'm saying no.
I'm saying no. I'm sorry,
It's
bro.
more action adventure. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take that off my
sorry.
list. It's
I
okay.
It's
see the
inside.
point, but
It was
a
bound to
good
happen.
effort. It was a good effort, Loretto.
It was bound to
I
happen.
can
All right, you know
agree.
what though? That's fine. Actually, I'm really happy with this backup. So, one of the greatest comedians of our time, and one of the most magical experiences from my childhood. I got one word for y'all: Jumanji.
Nice pick.
Oh,
Which one?
Yeah, I was thinking
That
about
was on my list, Loretto.
The original with
I
Robin
think
Williams, y'all, not the one with The Rock. Robin Williams.
Well, actually, there's two
No.
with The Rock. Can you be more specific?
Uncle Robin.
Sorry, you gotta go again. Deebs, what is your next pick, my man?
Great pick, Loretto. That was my 1B. But I'm gonna go with the one I love the most. It's the best Disney remake, I think. For me personally,
You fucker. No.
amazing film. And like you said, Loretto, I need a great filmmaker on my list, and that is Jon Favreau. I'm going The Jungle Book with my selection.
Oh my fucking gosh, dude.
Which
Wait.
Jungle Book?
I mean,
2016,
All I gotta
Jon
say is-
Favreau.
Wait,
Technically,
should've been
if we're
Lion
not
King. You
counting
gotta
The
shut down
Lion
the
King,
Jungle
we
Book.
can't count The Jungle Book technically.
What?
How? They're totally different.
I am
Wait,
inclined to
wait,
agree
you know
with
what?
this opinion.
I have to beg to differ because Mowgli's actually interacting with the talking animals, so it it
Yes.
breaks that barrier.
Yeah, I think that is the thing that breaks it. Is a human
Yeah.
talking to.
Deibs
Yeah.
is so mad. I'm sorry.
You know what? Let him have it. It's a film that people love and will easily just as quickly forget. So we're good.
love is a strong word, but okay.
What about you, Aaron? What is your fourth pick?
I got to get something classic for my list. I'm trying to build a diverse list here. So give me It's a Wonderful Life.
Nice pick.
It's a Wonderful Life. That it is, my friend. That it is. And Jalyn. Jalyn.
Yo. Okay, so I might need some wing on my picks. I'm not sure how y'all are gonna be feeling about these. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Is that fantasy?
Sci-fi.
I would say that's
Sci-fi.
more sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
That's definitely more
Sci-fi.
sci-fi.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Oh
It
Lord.
sucks.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Hey.
go back.
That was in my.
Let me
That
go
was
back
actually
to
my
the drawing
sci-fi
board.
wedding.
It
draft.
hurts. It
Well,
hurts.
the basis of them talking is scientific, so
Yeah.
sorry, Jalyn.
Oh, hold
I
on.
mean, technically, lions communicate.
No,
with
you're
each
good.
other scientific, not talking.
Okay, this one might need some voting too. I don't know where y'all gonna stand. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Is that fantasy?
Yeah.
Comic
No.
book movie. Comic book
Wait.
movie.
I have a question.
That is comic
this
book. That's
comic
comic
book?
book.
It's a
Not
comic
allowed.
book
No,
movie.
you know what? Yeah, it's a comic book.
It's a
so no.
comic, yeah.
So,
It's a
Oh,
comic.
it is. I
Lord.
guess you're right.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
comic.
Okay.
That's why I
Both
was
the
clarifying
comic
in
and
group
the
chat
film
on
deviate
that
at
because I was
key
gonna
plot
call that one
points.
too. That's why I was clarifying.
Okay.
Damn, Jalyn, 2 for 2. Come on.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna go with another movie that was adapted from a book series, and I'm gonna go with the first Maze Runner movie.
nice.
And if that doesn't count as fantasy, then I don't know what to tell y'all at this
He
point.
said, I'm struggling.
I mean,
y'all."
I can't pivot a third time in one back to back.
I'm so sorry. What was it? The last.
We're not gonna
Maze Runner.
Maze Runner, the first one.
Maze
I
Runner.
agree, but
I mean, technically that's
I'm tired.
dystopian, so.
Anna was like, I know,
Do we need to vote?
Like you thought you were getting away with it.
I think we need to vote on it.
You're the author in the group, right? What's your thoughts on this one?
I
Tell us what you're
mean,
thinking here. Give us the play-by-play.
Well, you know, when you're writing, the dystopian audience is pretty different from the fantasy audience, and it's not quite the same. This is like a dystopian draft.
This was a fantasy to me.
Fantasy media? I mean,
Oh,
books
no,
are media, right?
I say we put it
Yeah.
put it to a vote. Put it to a vote. Do we think it's fantasy? Raise your
Give
hand.
it to him, man. He's been trying. I'm just
Yeah, let him have it.
Give it to him.
my honest answer is no. But he could have it. I don't.
What was
like-
your fourth backup?
Well,
Don't
my
tell
first
him.
backup-
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't worry,
Don't
your
ask that
fourth
question.
backup is the
Silver
next
tongue
film
devil.
you're picking. You get
Yeah,
back to
that's what I
back.
got for my next pick is,
No, I don't know.
So we good? Does Maze Runner count? I don't
You're
know where
good.
we're at.
You're good.
Yeah, you're
I think
good.
you're good.
I am so petrified right now. Okay. I'm just gonna be quick with the next one, and I'm gonna go with Frozen.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so
We're
bold.
watching
I love this
Frozen.
pick.
Yeah. Yeah. That was coming.
You're
That
stealing
was
from
coming.
Animation Nation, but this is a good pick, and I was scared that there's still too much hate on the internet for it, but good choice.
All the
we're good,
8-year-olds
we're good,
on
we're
Twitter are
good.
gonna vote for you.
What about you,
I
Aaron?
will
What
vote
is
for
your
you.
fifth pick?
Well, I got my animated romance out of the way, so I'm gonna go with my live-action romance, and I'm gonna take About Time.
Aww. I like that one.
About Time. That's
That's a good
sweet.
one.
That's sweet.
That's
I like that
What
one.
about you, Debalicious? What is your fifth pick?
I'm gonna go with a movie that I'm probably gonna get voted down, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna go with Avatar. Any thoughts on Avatar?
See, I was actually gonna
Last
ask
year,
about that.
Fiction,
I
science
think
fiction,
it's more.
It's
Sci-fi.
technically-
sci-fi.
No, I feel like it's
100%
sci-fi.
I would argue-
I would give it to
Fantasy.
Dives. Like
I
that's
would-
fantasy.
Dude.
I would give it to
Space
Dives.
travel
reason how they
and the
do the
Avatar
Avatar
system is
idea is
science.
Alright, hold on,
Okay,
hold on,
let's
hold
raise
on,
our
hold on.
hands. Let's raise our
Yeah.
hands then. Who doesn't think Avatar is fantasy? Damn.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, never mind.
That's half.
I'm
That's half.
sorry, Dives. I was
That's
rooting
half.
for you there.
If we can't get Ready Player One, I feel like we gotta vote.
Wait.
That's fair. Yeah,
They're
that's
both
true.
different.
Yeah, I think Deeb should get it.
I think Dives should get it.
Wait,
Let's give it-
so all right, wait, am I picking a
Oh,
new movie?
we just voted
got
no,
it.
didn't we?
You voted
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I
we already
know.
voted
Wait,
no.
hold up. If you voted 5 people and there's 5 yes, 5 no, shouldn't we just do a coin toss?
No, man. because, I mean-
I'd say that Deeb's
A
vote
coin
doesn't
toss?
count. You can't vote for yourself to be
Yeah,
clear.
that's true.
You're put on
All right.
trial.
All right, I'm gonna go.
I don't know.
I'm
why I
gonna
didn't
go.
figure it
So
out.
I'm looking for balance in my movies, and I'm gonna go with the movie that I think is terrific, top to bottom. It's definitely something that goes out of the box with my list right now, and that is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I was waiting for Loretto to take
Fantastic.
it.
Ah!
I was waiting for
Sorry.
Loretto to take that one.
I thought
That was literally my next pick, Dives. Ah,
Loretto,
Okay.
since your heart's a little broken, why don't you make it a little bit more whole right now?
hey, no, I was gonna say, you know what? I was saving some of those picks for the last round. That was one of them, and hats off to you, Dives. It's a great film, Ong Lee. But you know what? I'm glad this is still on the board. I'm gonna dip my toes back into Animation Nation, as Benjamin likes to call it. I'm going with a picture that's magic filled. It's my favorite Disney film. I had to get one of those bad boys on my team. I'm glad it lasted this long. I'm going with another Robin Williams classic, Aladdin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Strong pick.
Great pick.
Not the best Disney's Renaissance film, but it wasn't available anymore.
So, I know you guys are talking about this in the chat, but I'll be honest, I couldn't bear to read all those fucking messages. So, bear with me right now, but I want to pick the new Dune. Did you? I know you guys talked about it.
Did you?
Did you guys?
No.
I thought we voted that
said
down.
Science.
Why
Well,
would
Because
Loretto,
okay,
did you
Dune
not
is
just hear
literally
me?
inspired from
Okay, but why
Star
would
Wars.
you also take that from me, Ryan? Like that's just rude.
The book
like,
is
Star
known to
Wars
be
is like-
sci-fi.
If we
All
say
right,
Avatar's
I'm
down,
I'm just
say no.
asking.
Dune's
You hear
down.
me complaining?
And
You guys-
also, most of us went into this thinking it wasn't available. So I mean, it might have got picked earlier. if
I
it wasn't.
didn't know that. That's why I asked. I
You
didn't
got
know
everything
that.
everywhere all at once. You're not getting another recent release. I'm sorry.
No.
It's going down.
Ben is really gonna start killing me. What about Willy Wonka in the Chocolate
Oh,
Factory?
absolutely.
I'll allow it.
That's fair,
I'll
that's
allow it.
fair.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was going back. and
Oompa
forth
Loompas aren't
between
real.
those. Yeah, I mean, hell,
They're scary.
That you know of.
that'd be cool.
Wait, so
too.
Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate
Willy,
Factory?
I literally said Willy
Wait,
Wonka.
which
one?
Yeah,
Just
Just checking. Just
No,
checking.
don't you dare.
Willy
say
Wonka.
There
Willy
only
Wonka.
needs to be a few Johnny Depp.
Hey, Johnny Depp wasn't
That's
bad.
That's not one of them.
No, Johnny Depp was scary.
I hated Charlie.
Johnny
That was
Depp's
a
already
horror
made it
movie.
into one of the
That
draft
terrified
points.
me.
So
That is
Good
true.
morning,
Actually,
Starshine.
into
The Earth
3.
says hello.
That is true. What about you, Amanda? Unfortunately, we have to take away your sixth pick too, so that's going to be your last pick.
No, so we have two for Sherzies, right? Cool. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna dip into the Twilight franchise.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh God.
Please
I'm
say
doing-
New Moon.
I'm gonna no,
Please.
ew, New Moon's garbage.
That's why I
I'm
thought
gonna
you like it.
no, I'm gonna take Eclipse because I like that one. That one's my
Wow.
favorite.
Wait, isn't that
Jesus
the one where he
Christ.
falls in love with the baby?
No, that's Breaking Dawn.
That's the next one.
That's the fourth
prequel.
one.
Yeah,
Trust
that's
me,
the
I
next
wouldn't
one.
pick
Out
that
of
one.
context.
That one.
Hey, to be fair, Amanda, those battle sequences are pretty cool with the werewolves and stuff
Right.
like that.
Loretto,
so.
don't
Eclipse
encourage
was
it.
lit.
Don't
No, I like
encourage
Eclipse.
it. Don't
Eclipse
don't-
was
Eclipse was my
awesome.
favorite one, and admittedly I watched all of them. So.
Loretto, thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh, you make me fucking chill down to my bone core. But what about you? The formal review. What is your fifth pick, my man?
So this one may need debate, and I'm fine with not taking it if it gets voted, but I'll dip into Ang Lee as well and go Life of Pi.
Oh yeah, fantasy. Yes, absolutely.
That's such a great.
that-
It was
I did
alright.
not have that on my list, Formal. Well done.
Great fantasy movie.
I love that
so good.
movie.
Yeah, that was a good pick. What about you, Mr. Loretto? Wait, hold up.
It's
I
Christian's
did backwards. Yeah. I saw Loretto going to the screen. I mixed it up. Christian, it's your turn. Sorry.
Oh
Tisk, tisk.
boy. Well, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was stolen from me.
No.
Oh man, I am really torn between these next two. I'm going to go. Give me a second. I gotta think for like two.
This is an honest question, you guys. Did we really give her Alita? I just must have
Did
spaced
we?
out.
Yes, you did. You did.
Yeah.
What just happened here?
Well, I gotta check on one of them really quick.
I don't. Yeah.
I was so sneaky.
That was so sneaky.
I was.
I don't know if y'all watch New Girl, but I'm about to do the Nick face the rest of the show. Just
So, I mean, like, I got one like Warner Brothers Juggernaut on there. I
Christian
feel like I should go another, but I
Do
think
it.
I'm gonna go with Kubo and the Two Strings.
Nice.
Ooh
Good pick.
yeah.
That ass thing.
Great pick.
Micah, hell
Thank
yeah.
Great selection.
Nice. What about you, Ann? What is your fifth pick?
All right. Well, I really wanted to get this one in because but it strays from my streak of young adult fantasy. But it's my favorite. I want to just put in Detective Pikachu.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So good.
Way better than I ever would have given it credit for, and I'm not even into Pokemon, so.
It's
And
so
then
cute.
Ben, what are your final two picks of the draft?
I was not prepared for this. Sorry, I've been so focused on writing down what other people are taking that I didn't make enough notes on what animated stuff's still available. Classic. Well, you know what? We've seen one 2001 pick go, and I think I'm going to take the other one and round out Animation Nation with Monsters, Inc.
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah. I like it.
And You know what? We're gonna tap it all off. I started with Pan's Labyrinth, and we're gonna round it out with our live action, smaller film that I think people love, and it's The Green Knight.
Damn it!
I mean,
Wow.
is
Nice.
Someone
It was
did
on
the
my
Green
list.
Knight.
so.
I respect the pick.
Thank you
man.
all.
I respect it. I respect it. And then, Anne, what is your final pick of the draft?
Oof. Let me go with Ghostbusters. Did anyone pick Ghostbusters already?
Nope.
No,
Nope. Damn it.
no one
Alright.
has picked
Benjamin,
Ghostbusters.
what were your two again? Sorry, I can write it down. Ben,
I took Monsters Inc. and
There we
The
go.
Green Knight.
thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
What? Whoa. Why did you just do that? You just threw me off.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. What about you, Christian? What is your final pick of the draft?
All right. This one is going to be. I don't know if anyone remembers this movie, but I was gonna go with the Studio Ghibli film. I'm like, oh man, do I go with this last one or do I go with? Screw it. I'm gonna go with Bridge to Terabithia.
Wow.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
dare you? Oh, I'm so
It
mad
is
at you right
one
now.
of my favorites.
Wow.
I
And I was
cried.
like, I love this movie. So that's my last one, Bridge to
I
Terabithia.
I watched that
I was
movie.
gonna
on-
watch that.
I
Go
watched
ahead,
that. Movie, I watched that movie on an airplane, like in public. Never seen it before, and like, you ever be in public and you're like trying to make sure no one can see you
Yeah.
uncontrollably crying?
Yeah, it's so sad.
I was like, I thought Anne was gonna take it from me. I'm like, Anne, please don't take my favorite book. I was like, I'm sorry.
I can't do that. I'm traumatized by play. We had to do the play in middle school.
It is.
Oh my god.
I died.
I accidentally spoiled
That's
it for my
depressing.
friend's mom because we went to go see the movie. And like we had to read the book for school, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like the part where X, Y, and Z, whatever." I don't want to spoil it on here, but I accidentally that was like my accidental first spoiler for my friend's mom. Soon,
I love how
about
he
to
said
write-
first spoiler. His accidental first
Accidental
spoiler.
first
We were literally
That means he
walking
spoiled other
into
things.
the movie theater as I said
You're
it.
terrible.
Boo! You're a horrible.
I didn't like it
person.
that much anyway. It's all good.
So, for formal, what are you doing for your final pick?
I was really hoping that Green Knight was gonna make it back around, but that's okay.
There is another.
Yeah, there's plenty of others.
Yes.
All right, but I'm gonna because I haven't gone too artsy on any of. I don't like I guess. So I think I haven't gone Disney yet either. Peter Pan is considered Disney, I guess. But damn,
So real.
Cue the Jeopardy music.
yeah, you can cue it. I don't care.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go with Brave.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Badass
Nice
thing.
Oh, okay. I dig it.
Never
And
have
ma-
I seen someone throw the entire draft in the 6th round so hard.
No, don't worry. There's been way worse. There's been way worse. But
I'm about to do this.
actually, speaking of which, the next one's up. So, Amanda, why don't you?
Wow.
She threw the draft in the first round, though.
She really did.
You threw it in the first round, second, third, fourth, fifth, and now
I'm just
sixth.
having a good time. I
No,
don't
that's
know.
obvious by your picks. Yeah, we know.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Guys, exactly. I'm gonna. You guys are gonna get mad at this one. I'm gonna go with a Zack Snyder film.
No.
Oh boy.
You know what? Yes.
No, I know what it
Good
No,
is.
it's Sucker
fucking-
Punch.
Is it the owl
It's the
movie?
only thing
Isn't
not
the
based
album
on a
No,
comic book.
no.
You
I adore. I love
Sucker
Sucker
Punch?
Punch so.
I
freaking
knew it was gonna be
much.
Sucker Punch. It's a
I
great
love
movie.
it. There's so many layers to that damn movie, and I respect him for making it. I love it so much. So I'm
Actually
gonna pick
never
Sucker
seen
Punch.
it.
It's really good. I like it.
I thought that was more superhero-y, but I could be wrong. I've never seen it. So
It's not. That's why like no superheroes. I'm like, Zachary did well and did such a thing. So.
Well, I mean, I would agree with you, but then the Army of the Dead came out, so.
I liked. Hey, Army of the Dead's great too.
Army of the Dead came out. Talk about BVS, but that's not the point, guys. We've got Batman in my next pick. We've got the Batman. We've got. Listen, I know, Formal, you're looking crazy. This movie formed my love for Gina Davis. It's got Batman. It's got Gina Davis. Well, probably one of the most badass women of all time, and that's Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay. I see what you did.
I was expecting
Four was about to have like a fucking heart attack once I mentioned
Yeah,
that. He's like,
I think you just passed up on the. You know what? I'm gonna save it for after the draft.
I thought you were going through the Twilight franchise.
Oh no, man, my face is not as. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Hey, respect
Loretto.
for Twilight
No,
franchise.
I mean,
Never.
Loretto,
For the
I
books,
know-
absolutely. The movies,
Guys,
No,
let's look
neither.
at Loretto right now. Guys.
Neither.
Yes. Look at Loretto. Look how
Let's
fucking
go,
stressed. Look how stressed he is.
It's-
Like Loretto.
Lo,
Porn.
you're doing
Loretto,
great.
is it your
Porn.
turn?
You're doing great, Lo.
Loretto,
I mean, I'm
I
just
got a
gonna
massage
say,
the
we
other
had some
day.
TV options in here. Like, I'm
Oh,
saying,
shit,
we
good
need,
lord,
like,
shut up,
out-
Christian.
Shut up. I had to
Stop
get
it.
in an early response.
So- I'll admit the temptation to go another Tolkien is very prevalent, especially how much I enjoyed that unexpected journey. But you know what? I have a 90s pick, and I also have a relevant pick, but I also have one that's just for me. And you guys know this. Maybe that's why I lose, but I always save that last pick for me. And you know what? I'm gonna do it for me. I'm actually really proud of the fact that we had Everything Everywhere All at Once, Crouching Tiger. I'm gonna kind of add to that with some East Asian cinema. Stephen Chow's epic tale, Kung Fu Hustle.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
Jinx, you want me to show it?
Deibs, the fucking hot rocks are on your legs. They're on your back. They're burning. You're on the spot, bro. You're dying. What do you do with this last pick? How do you bear to handle the fucking pressure?
I'm gonna go. I've been. This is a draft that I don't care if I win or not. It doesn't matter. I'm sticking to my heart. I'm going through my heart, and I thought Lo was going to take this movie when you said it because I'm going for diversity here.
Jaws
and
doesn't count, by the way.
I'm going for what Jaws?
It doesn't. I will fight you.
All right, ready? I never met nobody like you.
I love it.
We're turning red. Let's go turning red.
Never not on my mind. Oh my. Oh my.
Yay!
Sorry.
The band One Direction wishes they were.
Yay,
That's
yay,
all I
yay.
have to say.
I'm so
Aaron,
happy.
you're in the hot spot, man. You got your last pick right now.
I know. I'm tempted to double up on Tolkien as well, since it's my favorite book of all time. But I think I'm gonna go with the more beloved film overall, and I'm gonna take Mary Poppins.
Nice.
Ooh, that's
I'm
nice one.
kind of shocked it fell this low, to be honest, because I was definitely considering taking it, but I'm glad it's in there. And Jalyn, oh sweet Jalyn, I know it's been a hard journey for you. It's been stressful. It's been rough, but we have come to the conclusion, and you were here to wrap it up just as you started it, my good friend. Give us your final pick.
All right. Appreciate that warm introduction. I do have a quick question. So are all superhero movies off the table or only if they have a comic book origin?
Oh.
All super. Okay. All right. So I was going to pick The Incredibles. I'm not going to pick The Incredibles, though. For the last pick in the draft, I'm going to go with Coraline. A little bit surprised that it fell so far. But I'm going to go ahead and round it out with Coraline.
Great. And guys, that concludes the drafting section of the stream. Next, we are taking a 10-minute intermission, so we get some drinks, take a little whiz, let our bodies refresh a little bit. And then Loretto will take over the holding duty, not holding duties. Hosting duties, yes. The other H word. And we're just going to shit talk each other's list because, bro, Benjamin thinks he got off the hook with his trash talk in the beginning because motherfucker coming in hot with these. So that's all I'm saying. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Peace.
I know.
Good evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are streaming or watching this from. Thank you for joining us. Thank you if you're still here from the original draft. This is the 2022 greatest fantasy movie draft post-game show. I want to thank everybody that's been on this panel so far. It's been quite an epic draft. Lots of surprising picks, but lots of passionate picks as well. I think we all did a fantastic job. Again, if you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe down below. Please comment, what are your favorite fantasy picks? And as we break down each team, please let us know what you think of everyone's team so far. So without further ado, let's get right into it. With the first pick of this fantasy draft, we have Team Jalyn. What's going on? What is happening?
Lo is ready for his close-up.
Oh, Lord, everything, everywhere, all at once. It's like we're traveling through multi-universes here. All right, so Jalyn, you had a lot of pressure on you. I appreciate you for picking the classic Wizard of Oz from 1939. Surprise pick, but it's a classic pick. It's a film that is iconic in cinema, no matter where or who you are. You followed it up with Andrew Adamson's Shrek. Followed it up with Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands, my favorite Tim Burton. Excellent choice there. R.I.P. Vincent Price. You went with the young adult novel Maze Runner, which was a fun film in itself. The mega hit for Disney, Frozen, and you tied it up with Coraline, another stop-motion classic from the Leica Studios. What do you think about your team, Jalyn? What would you grade yourself, and how do you feel about the way it played out for you, man?
Jalyn, you're muted, my man. I just want to say that.
Jalyn, you're
My
muted.
bad. I was fighting that mute monster. Something crazy. Okay. Sorry about that. So honestly, Lo, I would grade myself at a strong B. I think that my team has a lot of like impact. Like these are really memorable films. Some like heartwarming films. And I'm honestly proud with the way that it shook out. I think that these are some pretty fun films. And I was trying to play to the audience a little more too. Because last time I felt like popularity kind of took me out the game. So we'll see how I do at the polls, but I would grade myself a strong B.
Sorry, Jalyn, this team is really bad.
Oh my
Damn.
Shots fired quick.
Hey, wait,
Yeah,
time out. Wait, hold up. I haven't even opened the floor officially.
Yeah, you didn't even open it up
No, wait a
first.
minute. Wait a minute.
The tomatoes are already being
that
tossed.
motherfucker.
He couldn't wait no longer. He couldn't wait any longer.
Oh, wait, hold up. So really quick, guys. I just want to say, look, I understand the Frozen pick. That's purely like there is an audience there. There is a following there. Coraline's a fantastic film. I don't care what anybody says. Shrek is a iconic film. So same with Wizard of Oz. But whether or not I would have taken it in the first round, maybe that's what's debatable. But you know what? The floor is now open, guys. Hot takes, cold takes. What do we think of Jalen's team?
Bro, Jalyn, I just want to let you know, you had the first spot and you fucked it up royally.
Nah, Jalyn,
no,
you secured a movie that you could have secured in the third round, but also the balls on that decision, I respect so much harder.
I don't respect it,
Hey,
though.
ditto that.
Lord of
Took
the
a lot
Rings is
nerve at
boring.
first.
Your picks are better than Lord of the Rings.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'm kidding.
You're-
Lord of the Rings is really good. But the
Jalyn.
rest of the people still messed up their Lord of the Rings picks. They let Two Towers fall to the last one, so you did good.
Jalyn, your best pick was Edward Scissorhands in the third round. That was awesome. And I love Coraline in your pick, last round pick there. Coraline is terrific. The other four are major head scratchers for me.
Bro, Frozen is probably one of the most annoying fucking films of all time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's beloved. I mean,
No,
that's
it's
a
beloved
get votes
for
pick.
making me want to blow my brains out.
Yeah, Frozen is
Nah.
kind of like taking Game of Thrones in
Ryan,
this
let
draft.
it go.
No,
It feels like
no.
you've got people that love it and you have people that hate it, and you've got a polarizing pick.
Frozen's like if you take mushrooms and you take a bong rip and then you sit there and you're like, holy shit. This would be really cool if I mixed the Wizard of Oz with the Flash TV show with the fucking who's that character that shoots the ice powers? Killer
Frost.
Yeah,
Interesting.
bro.
Interesting.
And-
Ryan's takes have been
Ryan-
demoted in my brain.
The icing on the cake. The
Let
icing
everyone
on
tell
the
you
cake
otherwise.
The icing on the cake on all this is Ryan picked Frozen on his team once
He
before.
did
I did?
because he had to. It was so funny.
Hey, when did I pick it?
That Christmas draft was
It
hilarious.
was a Christmas draft.
Oh
I
yeah,
still
dude.
watch it.
That
Oh,
was
so
rough,
funny.
bro.
Like, I cried
That was
laughing.
rough. I literally had no other options.
You did, but you know.
No,
Did we have any hot or cold takes for Jalyn?
Maze Runners.
I'm
Maze
pretty
Runner,
confused
yeah.
by this list. I'm sorry, man.
The Maze Runner's rough. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really,
that's not
really
fantasy.
rough.
I could give a pass on the rest of them, but Maze
I would
Runner.
have chose like Wizard of Oz as like probably a 5th or 6th pick. I mean, like it is a great movie. It's just
Christian, your favorite Star Wars is Revenge of the Sith. You have no opinion that's valid here.
wow.
Wizard of Oz is a classic.
And
And
really talk about
Jalen's,
fantasy.
It's a great
pandering
movie.
to
I
the
just wouldn't pick it as number
50-plus-year-old
one.
Audience that doesn't watch the podcast.
It's
Jalen,
an
you're
oldie
doing
but a
great
goodie.
here.
That's what I thought it was an oldie but a goodie. Like if we're talking about fantasy films, there's not many other movies that like take you to another.
It's very like story.
Oh, it's a
like,
first round pick. I think. I think it's absolutely a
Yeah.
first round pick.
Yeah,
And I think people are underestimating the fact that everybody and their mom knows this movie, whether or not they've seen it. They know who Toto and Dorothy is, and we're not in
Yeah.
Kansas
Toto.
anymore. So that kind of that stuff translates, right?
Toto.
So
It was a
with that being
fantastic book
said,
series.
I want to see what's up
Sorry.
to Luke. Luke says, "What's up? Sorry he's late. How you doing,
What up,
Luke?
Luke?
Thanks for joining
Hola.
us."
Man.
Ryan O'Toole gives Jalen's team 8 out of
I don't
10. He
blame
doesn't
him.
like Frozen or Maze Runner, but that's
Ryan
not a
is
bad
very
score.
That's a
hard to
good-
please.
Right?
And
a
look,
generous
man,
score.
last thing I'll say, Jalyn, I want to thank you for coming back. And I think you were really bold for going Wizard of Oz first. And I think, in terms of film cinema, it's not a bad film. So people remember it, people know it. With that being said, let's
It's
go
a
to the
great
next
film.
pick. Welcome a new contender here, Team Feelin Film. Aaron, man, you had
Thank you,
the
thank you.
second pick of the draft, and luckily, because Wizard of Oz, you got the pick that me and Deibs were
Man.
coveting so much. Fellowship of the Ring, the
Incredible.
very first Peter Jackson directed Tolkien tale. You followed it up with an anime, which I didn't think that would be so prevalent in this draft. But as we go, with every other team, you'll see a lot of animated picks here. And you took your name. You took the Stephen Sommers classic, The Mummy, a beloved film that I think most people like. I would say that. Same thing with It's a Wonderful Life. You definitely went for the audience's heart here. I'm not very familiar with About Time, forgive me, but I do know Mary Poppins. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. I know that much. So with all that being said, Aaron, I think you have a pretty eclectic list. You have a very diverse list. How do you feel about it? Go through your thought process. And if you could, what would you grade yourself, Aaron?
Oh, I'm very, very happy with my list. I mean, it's like an A+ on favorites and an A, I think, on competitiveness. I mean, I don't think I wasn't expecting Fellowship of the Ring. I actually posted in my own community last night to kind of get some help because The Princess Bride is my second favorite. I kind of grouped the trilogy as my first favorite film of all time. So, I mean, I was like, whatever, how was I going to pick between these things if it fell to me? And so I wanted to get a read on what people thought, but to get Fellowship was a coup. And then, with the run on Miyazaki, I would have taken Your Name over them anyway. A little bit of a risk, I think, because not everybody has seen Shinkai's movies, but I think everybody who has will gladly agree with me that is one of the best anime films ever made. And obviously The Mummy, I needed to get a couple of true adventure films, and that goes with Lord of the Rings and that kind of fantasy vein. I had to get classics because I gotta, like you said, it's got to be eclectic for me. It's got to be a mixture. I can't just, I had an opportunity to take like the regular Twilight, or the original Twilight, or The Hobbit. The Unexpected Journey was sitting right there at the last pick, and it was so hard not to take it. But I needed to mix it up. And About Time is, while it's not as well seen, I've never met anybody who hasn't like just cried their eyes out and found it to be one of the most endearing, charming, beautiful time travel movies that you'll ever see.
Hi,
So
nice to meet you.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, luckily you guys aren't the ones just voting. So I'm hoping that I think I have enough strength at the top. I have enough name power on my list to overcome, a couple of special kind of niche beloved films, and I'm really, really happy with it.
Hey, that's awesome, man. So you'd be surprised, like with the strength of your first pick. Ask anybody that's ever been in our drafts and drafted The Dark Knight or something. I think Fellowship of the Ring has so much power that you had a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, and it just so happens that you also got The Mummy and It's a Wonderful Life and Mary Poppins, man. So I think you'll be fine. I think you've got a pretty exciting list. What does everybody else think? The floor is open. Hot takes, cold takes. What do we got for Aaron?
I just want to say that I love that you took Mary Poppins in the last round. Like that was on my list, and I just love that you picked that. This is one of the best lists in the draft. So, Aaron,
Thank you.
Good job,
Thank you.
man. Good job.
I'm a little worried about voting for this list. I'll say it right now. Fellowship of the Ring is A++++. That was what I was going to go with.
It's a great
100%. We've done these drafts before. The Mummy doesn't carry much weight. It's a Wonderful Life. I wonder if people are going to like kind of scratch their head a little bit about that one. We'll see. About Time, I can't talk on it. Unfortunately, I need to see that. Mary Poppins is okay. I don't like kind of the same boat as like Wizard of Oz. Voting wise, yeah, Mary Poppins, I don't think is going to have that much weight. So outside of number one, I'm definitely worried about voting on this team.
Yeah, I think for me,
I don't know.
like,
This team scares me.
It depends, honestly. Like, I don't know offhand who he's up against, but honestly, with some of them, I wouldn't. I understand why they're called fantasies. I get it, but I wouldn't call them like About Time to me because it's time travel-y. I would think it's more sci-fi, and It's a Wonderful Life, even though fantasy. But like I instantly think Christmas movie like before anything. Like it's just Christmas. Your Name is very good, but I think like the lack of people who have seen it is the only hindrance toward it. It is really good, and I would vote for that. And obviously, Lord of the Rings, Mary Poppins is amazing, but I think that's the only thing. It depends on who you're going up against.
True.
We'll see. Yeah.
You know, also
This
like
list
not
feels
to,
like
not,
it was
not to
made for-
judge because I've heard amazing things about the film, but I think you could have got Your Name later. I think it wasn't on many people's radar. So
Yeah, but I mean, being a first draft and not familiar as well with, I saw a run on Miyazaki, and I couldn't take that risk. It's a favorite of all time for me, so I had to pull it when I had the opportunity.
I feel
In my
that.
mind, right?
Yeah, I feel that.
It would not have made it back to you if you didn't take it
There we
in
go.
that third round.
Yeah, you were my biggest.
okay.
You were my biggest concern, Ben, because of your obvious, affinity for animation, which I also share. So I was a little nervous there.
Yeah.
Hey man, I think you did great for a first timer, Aaron. I think you did a
Thank
good
you.
job. Check
No,
out
not my
Feelin
first
Film. Anybody else have some takes for him?
Yeah, this list makes me a little scared, knowing the quality of it. But likewise, I have to echo that this list feels like it was made for people that grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and doesn't feel like it was made for people that are mostly on Twitter and love superhero stuff, aka our
43-year-old
primary audience.
What does that mean?
Um,
People who aren't like older people aren't on Twitter. Is that what you're trying to say?
Not as often. No, and they
I'm
probably
fine
wouldn't be
old.
following
Man, I
the
feel
pseudo
like
geeks.
okay.
Hot take.
I got Aaron. I gotta tell you something, my man. I'm gonna start from bottom to the top. Mary Poppins, yo, Mary's popping off this fucking list. About time. It's about time it gets off this fucking list.
I can't.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Here you
It'd be
go.
A Wonderful Life if it wasn't on this list.
Here he goes.
The Mummy makes me wish I was a mummy. Your Name makes me feel like I'm not really feeling that film. But Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, instant fucking classic. Man.
There it is.
Thank you. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
Instant fucking classic.
I was
That
about
was
to
great.
boot him. Like,
That
yo,
was good.
get out of here. You don't talk
Yeah.
about the Mummy that way, man.
Lord of the Rings
What
Fellowship
the
of the Ring is
hell?
the third best Lord of the Rings film, but that makes it like top 5 movies of all time still. So
That's,
Yeah, top tier.
and
It was
that's
like,
so
I
interesting.
think it was like one of the first 3 to go in our best movies of all time.
Oh, for
On
sure.
that note, though, we do have 8 other teams to get to, so let's get to stepping, y'all. Picking third overall, we have Mr. Crockpot.
Oh my God, Lord of the Rings.
Team Deibs, if you know him well. I'm sure he was delighted to take Return of the King third overall. Third overall. Who would have thought? You followed it up with How to Train Your Dragon 2. I think that's the best of the trilogy. Nightmare Before Christmas was not on my radar, but it's a stop-motion Christmas classic. Who doesn't love Jack Skellington and his longing to be something more than what he is in Halloween Town? You took the live-action remake of The Jungle Book, Rudyard Kipling's classic novel, adapted by Jon Favreau in this live-action edition, Ong Lee's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and you took Turning Red, one of my favorite films of the year, honestly, and I didn't see it coming, but it is fantasy in its way. I mean, it's not every day a little girl turns into a panda. I think
Love
that's
it.
fantastic. It has catchy music. Shouts out Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas. Excellent soundtrack, and it's so fun representing the six. I know Amanda loves that. Deibs, break it down, man. Are you happy with your squad? What would you grade yourself? And what were you thinking going into this? Like, is this pretty much how you thought it was going to go?
Yeah, my top 3 was Fellowship, Return of the King, and then Prisoner of Azkaban. Aaron, you crushed it. You took my number 1. That was a great selection. Return of the King is just everything in the fantasy genre, at least in my opinion, for all the reasons. How to Train Your Dragon 2, I can't believe it fell to round 2. Score standpoint, from like going from How to Train Your Dragon 1 to 2, everything was better about the sequel. I love the characters to death. It is such a fun film. It's an emotional film too. Like, it's hard to watch at points, given how much I love those characters. And who doesn't love Toothless? I have pillows of Toothless in my house. The Nightmare Before Christmas was an absolute reach. I gave shit on Aaron for a Christmas movie. Here it is. But I've got Nightmare. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it is just, when you talk about How to Train Your Dragon, when you talk about Nightmare Before Christmas, when you talk about Return of the King, you talk about fantasy, you talk about escapism. I mean, these movies have it, and then some. 11 out of 10. The Jungle Book by Jon Favreau is such a delight. Bill Murray as Baloo, Shere Khan. Like, there's so much about this film that I love to death. It's a movie I've rewatched a ton. It's the best Disney remake, period. Although I really love Cruella a lot. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I had to get like a fantasy action film on my list, and I wanted diversity, unlike a lot of these films. And then Turning Red, same thing. It spoke to me a lot as like a kid that grew up in the 90s, early 2000s with the boy bands. I love Turning Red so much. It was Pixar returning to form for me. That's just my opinion. Turning Red is just has a ton of heart, and it's about family. So top to bottom, I'd probably give this a solid like 8.5. This is, again, a list that speaks me. This is like a lot of my movies that I rewatch a ton. So I give it 8.5. I'm really happy about it.
No, hell yeah, Deibs. I'm happy for you. And I think what's fun about these drafts is, whether or not Twitter knows this, we are like burying ourselves onto the internet here. You're throwing yourself out there. Like, that list speaks it to you. You know what I mean? And I think that's awesome. I also think I'll dare anybody to contest this. I think Deibs arguably has the best soundtrack.
I'll contest.
How to Train Your
yes.
Dragon. And
yeah, but that came in the
Howard
first
Shore's
film.
Lord of the Rings, and it's awesome.
Ooh.
The floor is open, guys.
Original
What do we think about Deibs' team? Break it down, guys.
All right. So, Deibs, you're my man, and I know you know this, and I love your hat, but Turning Red had me turning off the fucking TV. Come on, man.
You didn't even watch it.
No, I watched half of it.
I
That's
know
my point.
you.
Ryan, did you
Because I
turn it off
turned it
because the
off.
film just wasn't made
No,
for
he
you?
literally
You need to diversify your interests.
I watched
Come on.
half of it.
he watched like 10
relate to
minutes.
it because
He watched
No,
10
Ryan,
minutes.
cancel him
I
now.
watched half of this movie.
All
So
right, 10
like
minutes.
5 minutes. Anyways, continue.
Anyway,
Wait. Let me say something. I am not a 13-year-old girl from Canada, but I know what it's
Neither
like to
am
have
I.
friends, and I know what it's like to feel like my mom is like pressuring me to do this and that. Like,
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, there was relatable things here. Like,
I
come on
cried.
now.
I cried.
Yeah.
The film's relatable. It's
that
too
was real
relatable.
Right?
I'm just gonna stop
I watched it with all my sisters, so.
Oh, that's such a fun time. I love that. Now, Ryan, continue. I want to hear what happens.
I don't want to
next.
continue.
Come on. I would like to hear what you have to say.
No, I don't care if you what I have to say.
You're on the
Because
roll.
I can hop in.
I can hop in too.
before Christmas.
No,
Hey,
I
go
definitely
ahead,
think
Ryan.
that
Seriously, go
Jungle
ahead.
Book. Yeah,
No,
Jungle
no.
Book fourth round is a nice little snag. I was hoping that Jungle Book was gonna fall back to me. I don't know how Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is gonna do on the polls, but I also thought that was like a really solid pick. Something that I was thinking about as well. So you had me tilting a lot in the draft because like on the way back up the snake, you were like a couple picks ahead of me. So I was like biting my nails, having to pivot. I don't think I would have gone Nightmare Before Christmas in the third round, but it is what it is. I think it's a really solid team overall.
This team pulls votes hard, and that's what I'm scared about. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a B100 with you. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is one of the best films of all time. That's going to pull a ton. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is loved a lot. I think it's structurally not as good as the first film, but it's still really good. And I love the first film, and I love the second one, and I love the third one. Nightmare Before Christmas is a classic. To ask anyone how it performs in any of these voting polls on Twitter, and the answer is it wins. It's just so good. Jungle Book, you lost me there, but I think it's still a very strong pick. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, if I hadn't been talking to Christian ahead of time about whether it would qualify as fantasy, I probably would have snagged it earlier in the draft, but I was letting him do that. You failed me, Christian.
Hey, I tried.
Is a good pick. I don't know if it is qualitatively as high as the other ones here, but it's still very good.
It's recent though.
Get out of here.
I give it an A-, and the rest of your list is pulling straight A's. Like,
It's a B. It's a B.
I think, like, honestly, you obviously started off really, really strong, and I think, like, in the middle you dipped, like with Nightmare Before Christmas and Jungle Book. I don't really, again, it goes into like what I think is fantasy. Like, I wouldn't call Nightmare Before Christmas fantasy. I, again, either think Halloween or Christmas film, not so much fantasy. I get the argument though. I wasn't going to defend. The Jungle Book is also like, Disney is like one of those things that's hard to really go like which one's fantasy and which one isn't, as we discovered in this draft. But that's where it's a little iffy. But I understand it. Crouching Tiger, I also see why that one's fantasy. I call it more, I just see it as wuxia martial art film than anything, but I get why it's fantasy. Turning Red, yeah, that works perfectly. So like you dipped a little bit in the middle, but then you came back and you weren't as strong as you started, but it's kind of hard to do that when you start off with the Return of the King. So I would agree with your rating though.
I deeply regret not having a Harry Potter on this list. It's like
you got away from the cancel values.
That
You're
is
doing
why
good.
you fail.
You got Turning Red instead. You are like, you've become an ally instead of being a turtle. So instant win there, Deibs. You're not going to get canceled.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with how long most of the saga lasted. I'm surprised how much weight Harry Potter didn't carry. I don't know if that's recency bias because of J.K. Rowling, but it's interesting.
The first one that left was Prisoner of Azkaban, and any other Harry Potter film will not win against it. Therefore, you better just go to something else because you might be able to pull more matches that way.
I mean,
yeah, I didn't take any either because it was just like by the time it got to me, it wasn't worth it. And like you said,
I mean, I think a lot of people started loving like the first one as well, like just casual people who, yeah.
I think there's a bigger audience for a good portion of the Harry Potter films. I think.
Well, Deibs, I think you did excellent. I love almost every single movie on that list. Or actually, I do love every single movie on that list. Great job, man. I actually had the fourth pick. I got lucky with Two Towers. Thank goodness that fell to me. I'm a huge ringer. If that's not blatantly apparent. I went with Hayao Miyazaki's Princess Mononoke. Like I said, that classic tale of good and evil, and actually kind of like blurring the lines between what is evil and the fact that it dealt with nature versus the progress of man, and you know it's very relevant to this society. And I love the way that was told. Order of the Phoenix was, you know, my favorite of the series. I think, you know, Prisoners right there. Jumanji. Who wouldn't love their board game to send them magical monkeys and lions and rhinos through their, you know, into their world? I mean, it was scary, but it's kind of fun at the same time. I took my favorite Disney animated classic, Aladdin, and I followed it up with Stephen Chow's Kung Fu Hustle. I love this team. It very much speaks to me. I don't know how popular it'll be. I'm going to open the floor to you guys. What do you guys think of my team?
Good team. I'm mad that you got Princess Mononoke. And by mad, I mean Animation Nation is hurting a little on the inside. It definitely felt like it was a targeted attack, and it was a strong one. Like Team Low is more like Team I wish it was me. Two Towers is the best Lord of the Rings film. How it fell this far, I don't know, but yeah, good team. At least the first 3 rounds. Jumanji's really strong. Aladdin's extremely strong. Haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, but I'm like another team that scares me.
Just to throw this out there, I figured with Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, I'd be okay if I let that last pick just be me. Like whether or not enough people have seen it, like that was my pick. So
How strong is Princess Mononoke?
Your first three picks are just so strong that even if, like, I mean, not to say anything against Jumanji or Aladdin or Kung Fu Hustle, but it's like in comparison to the other ones, it's just like you have like three like huge ones and then good ones at later, but it's like almost like this, but it makes up for itself because of how good the first three are.
Not to prolong the argument, but Formal, how is Aladdin not a big deal? I feel like a lot of people like Aladdin.
Because Disney went against every bit of their argument, and once again, we enter into cancel culture in that, oops, Robin Williams didn't want to be the promotional material for the film, and that's what happened. And Aladdin, like, big movie, but also kind of falling off in public consciousness.
Yeah, nobody cares or knows about the Robin Williams thing. Not enough voting.
Now they know.
I don't think anyone. Yeah.
You only really know about that if you've seen the sequels, honestly. Because that's the
or
reason
if
why
you watched Lindsay Ellis on YouTube when she was around.
Yeah.
I love your Jumanji pick.
I
like that one too a lot.
I was debating between that and I'm not sure what my fourth round pick was, but Jumanji was right there. That's a movie that speaks to me. I watched that movie 1,000 times as a kid. But obviously, Two Towers. How do you not love Two Towers? It's sensational. The Last March of the Ants, it is just a monumental film. Princess Mononoke is terrific.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's going to be voting for Kung Fu Hustle. Sorry, Lo. But Aladdin, I mean, it's who doesn't love Aladdin? So I think this is a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, also,
I only
think
say it's not as big. Just to answer Lo's question, I just think that there's a lot of people that even though it's not as good, the new live action one has a lot of positive aspects to it that, there's a lot of issues with it too. But the good stuff of it is, I think, really good in the sense that, I mean, I'm not guessing anyone's assuming anyone's age, but I think we're all over the age of 25, maybe here-ish. So, I mean, it's our generation, but younger people may not.
Excuse me.
Watch. I'm not saying I know exactly. I'm guessing it's around that. I don't think anyone is a teenager here.
That's so funny.
Deibs is just like, nah, bro, hold the fuck up.
Okay, so Ryan O'Toole gave me an 8. Thank you, Ryan. His least favorite Potter and his least favorite Lord of the Rings, but he likes Jumanji and Aladdin. So thank you. We got any other takes?
Last take. This might actually be the other really good soundtrack list. Because Two Towers has a banger. Princess Mononoke is once again Joe can't say the name. Hisaishi. Harry Potter Under Phoenix is a banger. I mean, fireworks. If you've heard the sound, you know it. Aladdin. I'm just saying, this might give Deibs a run for his money on the soundtrack side.
Ooh.
That's true.
That's a valid point.
All right, so we're gonna keep it trucking, and it's funny. This is the first time in history that the Suit Up Geeks have actually drafted in order. So next up, we got Team Ryan. He picked 5th overall. Got the Princess Bride with the first pick, As You Wish. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the epic finale that broke a lot of hearts, and it was a sad day for a lot of Harry Potter fans that day. I mean, it was the end of an era, right? Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Everything Everywhere All at Once with Michelle Yeoh, and the wonderful Ke Huy Quan, who made his acting return after decades of not acting. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a classic, and Beetlejuice, one of my favorite Tim Burton films. Ryan, how would you grade yourself, and how do you feel about how this played out for you?
11 out of 10, best fucking list out of everybody here, to be honest. I mean, it's no Twin Towers, but I think I compensate with the Princess. I think they're
Twin Towers.
Christian,
get canceled.
Wait, hold up. Did he say Twin Towers?
He said Twin Towers.
Hey, don't worry. Twin Towers came out in 2002,
May 11.
6 months after.
May 11.
I meant to say Two Towers.
No,
Oh, man.
no.
I did not. Anyway,
No.
Two Towers. Yeah, so you guys should just grade my list at this point.
I think Ryan, this is one of your best lists.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Princess Bride is 11 out of 10. Deathly Hollows. I love that movie so much. I've seen it 1,000 times. Groundhog Day is a lovable film. I think I've seen that 1,000 times. Never seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm dying to see it.
You gotta see it.
I know.
Yes,
Everything I've heard, everyone loves it.
Go watch
Willy,
it. It's
Willy
amazing.
Wonka is terrific. I can't believe it fell to the fifth round. Willy Wonka might be the best fifth round pick in the draft. The only way this isn't perfect is I would swap Beetlejuice with something here. That's just me. I don't see that as too much fantasy, but that's just me. But your top 1 through 5 for me is absolutely a home run. I give this a 9.2.
Damn, bro.
I think this is a good list. I mean, Rachel's best movies of all time that won her the draft last time had Princess Bride, but that was a fifth round pick then. I'm amazed it got picked here in the first round. I wasn't expecting it to go for like an extra 2 rounds.
I'm actually pretty sure we've had it first round even before.
Rachel,
wouldn't have made it past me.
Someone had a Ferrari.
Hold on. Rachel, who won our best movie drafts of all time, like our championship draft, she took Princess Bride #1 and she won the whole damn thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
There
like
you go.
that on the Twitter. My beat.
Yeah, I was runner up. That was crazy.
Sorry, the Twitter had it listed at number 5.
He's just like, I can't deal with this.
But yeah, no, this is a very strong list. I'm mad that we let Everything Everywhere All at Once slide by. I remember looking it up on Rotten Tomatoes, seeing it as the 4th tag, and thinking that would be a really good pick. Just I can't believe it. That being said, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, it's iconic, but I feel like it's an oldie, and it's going to be reflecting that way in the polls. I think Beetlejuice falls into a same trap there, and Groundhog Day, very good film. I do hold the same thing. I feel like there's a lot of films here that are a little bit older that people might have a lot of love for, but also might be like, we'll see.
I have a hot take.
Your top 2 picks are great.
I think Willy Wonka is going to have more weight for voting than The Wizard of Oz. I'm out. See you guys. Have a good night.
Yo,
That's not a hot take.
I feel that
that's
actually.
pretty fast.
I agree. I have
So,
a hot take that's personal. I absolutely
Hit it,
cannot
Manda.
stand Groundhog Day. I think it's
No!
like I hate it so much. Every time it's on, I just roll my eyes. I am so sorry. This adds to like the Jaws take for Deibs. So guys, but like, yeah,
Boo.
I can't with Groundhog Day. Anyways, continue, Loretto. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. No, but no, honestly, as much as I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is more sci-fi, it's my favorite film of the year, guys. So look, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm more salty that he got it. So good job, Ryan. I'm salty. I didn't consider it fantasy. That's my fault.
It's not. I don't.
Yeah, I'm very
It's
scared
not.
about that. I'm so salty because once I rewatch it this week, it'll determine if it's in my top 4 Letterboxd favorites.
Hey, really quick, I want to say what's up to Cliff Jantz.
That's science fiction.
Cliff Jantz loves the 2 Towers, and he has actually seen Kung Fu Hustle. There you go. Thank you.
Yay!
I wonder what the voting is going to be like with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think you might be able to get a
Look
high
at this. Cliff is literally saying he'll
Recency
have to
bias.
vote for Batnips just because of Everything Everywhere.
There
you
it
go.
Recency
Yeah,
bias.
recency
because
bias.
So smart.
it's recency
It's-
bias. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan O'Toole gives you a 9, Rye. He thinks you picked the best Potter. Who doesn't love Princess Bride? He loves your team. I think you did a great job, man. I'm
yeah,
salty
dude.
because I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen it twice.
Oh, I
already.
know you do, bro.
It's
I know.
fantastic. It's an amazing film. So with that being said, let's keep it moving, guys.
Oh God, just skip.
Oh,
me
here
at
we
this
go.
point.
All right, I'll give
Representing the
everybody's
state.
review of
Guys,
Amanda's
why
Wait,
list.
did you?
Wow.
We have,
All right, let's
Hold
move on
up.
to the next list. Let's go.
hold on.
You might as well. I'm just gonna get
Like-
roasted, fam.
Oh Lord. All right.
I'm not saying a
Bear
single
with me,
word.
guys. So we got Team Amanda representing the state.
Yeah.
She took the Chronicles of Narnia. And look, guys, C.S. Lewis was home to J.R.R. Tolkien. He released Chronicles of Narnia before Lord of the Rings. So, I mean, we can give her some credit there. She took The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the school classic novel most
Really,
people
the
have
only
read.
good one.
Christian.
It's about
Great.
where she took it.
The films have been
Yeah.
dumpster fires, but That's a good
second
one.
overall. Hey, look, let's be real. Second overall, she took a banger, guys. Curse of the Black, or sorry,
Straight.
whoa, Dead Man's Chest. Excellent film. Davy Jones, one of the most iconic villains in cinema. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, introducing Michael Gambon into audiences. I think it's a great entry. Alita Battle
he was
Angel.
actually in Prisoner of Azkaban. Was winning. Thank you.
Yes,
Just
he
wanna-
was. I'm sorry. You're right,
I'll
Christian.
throw
You're
that out
right.
there.
You're right. You're right.
But
That's
he is
Gambon's
known
great.
for Goblet
I'm more of a
the
Richard
Fire.
Harris
He
guy.
is.
But anyways, how did we let her get Alita Battle Angel? I don't know. Twilight Eclipse is fun. It's got some great battle sequences. And Sucker Punch, I actually haven't seen. So I'm not gonna throw any Snyder shade. But look, Manda, I think you have a pretty fun team. That's what I'll say. So, Manda, break down your thought process and how would you grade yourself?
Listen, these are all the underappreciated ones. You know I tend to do that, okay? Everyone hates on my team because no one likes any of my picks. So you guys are gonna take these heavy hitters. We're gonna take these different ones. So I'm like, these are like roughly all of my favorites. I really enjoy every single one here. And like, if I'm gonna maybe lose this thing, I'm gonna go down swinging, and that's why I chose Alita Battle Angel.
I mean, hold on, sorry. Can
No,
we
she
just start
started
it
opening
off?
up Pandora's box.
3 out of 10. Damn, Ryan.
Wow.
That just hurts. Listen, I have fun with all of these movies. Dead Man's Chest is like my favorite Pirates of the Caribbean film. I absolutely adore it. We'll see where it goes. I just had to get a Harry Potter thing on here. Twilight carries weight as well. And obviously, the Snyder fans will hit it up for Sucker Punch. So, yeah, I have strategy. It was strategic.
Okay, you know what, Amanda? See, that's the biggest issue here. It's like it felt like you didn't choose from your heart. You chose what you thought people would vote for, and I think that's what's hurting us here.
I'm loving
That's
the
my
pandering.
heart.
I'm
It's
loving
legit
No,
that.
this is her heart.
This is my heart.
Realize
Loretto,
you wouldn't
like,
get votes for rounds 1 and 2.
No, I'm sorry, but like,
All right, look.
These Chronicles
Hey,
of
look, guys.
Narnia is
Hey,
number one
hey.
pick.
Before I open the floor for you guys, I just want to say I rewatched Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I haven't watched it since it
But it's not
premiered, and I
first
read the
pick
book as a
good,
kid.
Loretto.
Look, hey, Tilda Swinton is excellent as the White Witch.
She is.
I think Doug Jones is a better Fawn than James McAvoy, but you know what? It's okay. It's a good film. What do you guys think? Is Manda's team okay? What do you guys think?
No.
It's horrible. It's
It's
horrible.
terrible.
I mean, Robert Pattinson
It's
might
not.
like it.
I mean, she definitely one of their personal favorites, and I remember her actually saying that movies did a better job of fantasy over TV. And honestly, it's hit or miss on both sides with obviously movie and TV. But anyway, with her, like, I mean, she chose like when Harry Potter was out, and Lord of the Rings, and Disney's like, oh, we got to get on this big fantasy thing. Like, they're really. It's been very tough ever since like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, that like everyone's trying to reach that level of like excitement and engagement with their fans. Like obviously Game of Thrones did it very, very well, but that's also Warner Brothers. So she chose like the era where we got to turn every single book into a movie type situation. I think Twilight was a very smart pick. I've thought about taking a Twilight movie because they're out there. There's a lot of fans.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I think she could go far. I haven't watched the Chronicles of Narnia movies in ages, and now I kind of want to. I think they're on Disney Plus. I don't know. I actually don't know if they are or not, but I mean, whatever. But I think I give it like maybe like a C plus, B minus.
Wow.
I mean, Alita Battle Angel, and I mean, I haven't seen Sucker
Hold on.
Punch. I haven't seen Sucker Punch, so I can't
Hey,
comment.
Deibs, real
on
quick.
Sucker Punch.
Look, hey, Manda, I heart you. I got to go to the comments, though, because look, Ryan gave you a 3. He's saying he reached.
He's saying the rest are reaches, and what?
Yo, hey, Cliff is saying that your picks are like a Marvel show. A great pick and then an okay pick. So he's pretty much saying you're inconsistent. All right, guys, go ahead.
All I can say about Manda's team, it's horrible to begin with. But I will say, Manda, I see through your wizardry. I know exactly what you're doing here. Alita team, the Alita Battle Army hashtag is nuts. The Twilight hashtag is nuts, and you're going for the Zack Snyder hashtag. I see right through you, Manda. I know you're not even picking your favorite movies. You're going straight for the hashtags, and I applaud it.
Well, going for that social media engagement.
Wait, hold up, y'all. The only thing she's missing is Venom, right?
Yeah.
No, she's missing Morbius to put Morbius.
I would have picked it.
No,
I
we
would've
know
picked
you
it.
would have. There's a reason.
Going
I'm
straight for the
sad.
hashtag. Straight for the hashtag.
Well, the
No,
first
I gotta-
3 are with my heart. That is the
Mm.
god
First
honest
three are
truth.
like pure fantasy. Well, and
That's
and
my
Twilight.
heart
Again.
right there.
Hey, at
And
least she
Twilight.
admits it. At least she admits it.
Amanda, I
It's
gotta
a
be
game.
honest.
What's up,
Narnia
what's up?
Your Narnia pick is inspired because I know people who are like Narnia is better than Harry Potter, and frankly, I'm inclined
What?
to agree with them. Not the films. The Narnia films typically are like, not as good, but the books are great.
True.
And
not
the Harry
voting on
Potter
the
books
books.
are fine.
Yeah.
I mean, so
But no, the Chronicles of Narnia, inspired pick. You also picked probably the easiest one that adapts to film really well. They've done it like twice, and both times it's been a banger. I don't know how far it'll carry with public opinion, but it's a good choice. Dead Man's Chest, I'm disappointed. You should have picked the one with the Maelstrom wedding, but it was a good pick. Goblet of Fire is smart, and then, man, you're going for a popularity contest with those last three.
For sure.
I applaud it.
Thank you.
Also,
Thank you.
I
She
hope
knows
it doesn't
what this
pay
is
off,
like.
because if it pays off, we're fucked.
I hope it does. Fingers crossed.
See, I mean, that's what's frustrating. Like, Manda, I hurt you, but you kind of sold us out here with your last.
I
picks,
haven't
so.
won in like 7 drafts.
She's
I
desperate.
had
Not
to do.
overdue.
Okay, I did what I had to do.
All right, guys. So let's keep it moving. We're about halfway through now. We got Team Formal, who took the first film that I love. Hans Zimmer, one of the best scores of all time. Curse of the Black Pearl. You know, dun, 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 dun. It's great. Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, Jeffrey Rush. Enough said. Keira Knightley. Sorry. Spirited Away by Hayao Miyazaki. An epic film. I mean, that's a great second pick. Labyrinth, I thought you reached a little bit, but it's one of my favorite films. It's one of my favorite 80s films. Young Jennifer Connelly playing off the really weird David Bowie character, but the puppetry from Jim Henson's amazing. We also have Steven Spielberg's Malin, but I feel like unfairly hated on film Hook, starring Robin Williams as an adult Peter Pan and Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. Excellent film. Bob Hoskins as Smee. Ong Lee's Life of Pi. Who knew singing a boat with a tiger would generate so much buzz? I actually really, really loved Life of Pi. It's an underrated film. I think not enough people remember it. You went with Brave with your last pick. It's a great bonding mother-daughter film, but not one of my favorite Pixar films. So, Formal, break down your thought process. How would you grade yourself? And how do you like your team so far, man?
I like it. I think my Brave pick is my weakest one out of them. I would agree with you also with Labyrinth being a little bit of a reach. I think I could have got, especially with Life of Pi falling that far. But I'm not against it because I do think it's like an epitome of fantasy even though it's older. So I was trying to go with that, like try to hit maybe, even though apparently old people aren't on Twitter. Yeah, so I thought it was a good pick. It's weird enough, and it's Jim Henson, prime Jim Henson. Yeah, and Hook, it's one of it's quintessential pirate movie. Pirates of the Caribbean, don't really need to say much more than that. It's pretty much epic fantasy. Yeah, that's how I feel pretty much.
You know what's funny is if you didn't take Hook, I took Jumanji because you took Hook. So that's what happened there. And I think between Spirited Away and Curse of the Black Pearl, you'll get some votes. But what does everybody else think? What do we got for Team Formal?
I think he started off really strong. It's been a while since I've seen Labyrinth and Hook. Actually, his last 4, it's been a while. I think his first 2 are really strong because I was gunning for Spirited Away and Pirates for Curse of the Black Pearl. But I mean, I think it's a good team. It just I don't know. Twitter's a weird beast. That's all I gotta say.
Your top 4, I mean, are for me, Black Pearl, Spirited Away, Hook, and Life of Pi. I think Hook for me is like the most curious movie drafted tonight. That I'm curious to see how people vote for that. Because for me, as a '90s kid, that's easily one of my favorite films of all time. The soundtrack, terrific. Robin Williams, one of my favorites. But I don't know how many people are going to vote for that. I'm really curious. Just like Aladdin, as great as Aladdin is, not a lot of people vote for it, and I don't know why. But I think my favorite pick in this team is Life of Pi, and I did not have it on my big board, and I'm really embarrassed about it because I own Life of Pi, and easily one of the best 3D experiences of any movie I've had.
Gorgeous movie.
It's so good, man. It's a beautiful, and talking about soundtracks, It's a banger, man. That soundtrack is 100% a banger. That Brave pick was terrible. I never saw Labyrinth. So
I mean,
I give you a solid 8.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold
Include that
on.
in there.
Wait, look, Deibs, I
God,
love
you're
you,
the
bro, but
best,
you
my
try to
God.
sneak in that like knife jab. You just sneak it in there like
He's
Brave
worse
was
than I
fast.
am.
You know what? Let's keep talking about the good things.
It's literally like the worst like Pixar movie. So
no,
that's-
I honestly
it's not
the
like with
worst.
Brave.
Probably
Like I said, I do
dinosaur.
think it's one of it's my worst pick. But toward the end, it was like it is a fantasy movie, and I needed to have some type of Pixar, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go with that. I think it's more technical fantasy than Turning Red,
can I
but that's whether movie quality is
It's
different.
more like
but-
folklore, yeah.
ask a question? And it's related to Brave. And just real quick, sorry to like disrupt this conversation, but like, would you guys consider Ratatouille a fantasy movie?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I mean,
Absolutely.
if Lion King, I mean, if Jungle Book was, Ratatouille
Exactly.
probably should be.
Wait, how do we
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Look,
that's yeah.
Hey,
I
I
watched
think for Ratatouille,
Ratatouille.
there's not enough magic, but can rats pull us by our hair and control us? Probably not. So I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
hard.
We have
I mean,
everything everywhere.
have you ever tried it though?
So maybe.
I watched
I doubt anyone's
Ratatouille.
tried to actually say that they can't.
Ratatouille is like hands down one of my favorite Pixar movies. That was the one that I kept going back and forth on. You should have took that over Brave. I'm sorry, Formal. That pick is terrible.
I don't know if you were going for
Even
like
when
modern,
Dives
like
says something is
3D.
bad, he says it with such a pleasant voice.
That's how he gets
It's
you.
bad.
Pick was
But like, I love his approach at it because it kind of lets you down gently.
All right, you
And then he
guys.
gives you an 8.
So
The
from the
first two
comments,
are great.
Ryan O'Toole gives you an 8.5 Formal. He loves your first 4 picks. Life of Pi was inspiring. He doesn't like the Brave pick. Onward would have been better. It's debatable. But look, Cliff
Onward
Jans,
is average.
our man Cliff
agree.
Jans, thanks for joining us. He said he had the Golden Sword by Peter Pan. That's one of my favorite things in fantasy
Yeah,
period.
me
That's why
too.
I like
you.
Hook.
Me
John
too.
Williams score. Robin Williams is Peter Pan. Come on, guys. And he says, am I an old person not on Twitter that won't vote for teams? I say no. There is an audience here, Cliff. You are not alone. I mean, me and Deibs, we're part of it. There's a community of us. So
100%.
yeah,
The Hook selection, I had that on my list 100%. It was like Hook, Jumanji.
Hook was on my board.
Hook, Jumanji. What was my other one?
Life, Spirited Away, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember. But they were
Look,
like,
guys, we're almost at 2 hours when we're barely halfway, so let's keep it sucking. Good job, Formal. Next up, we have Team Film Optics.
so good.
Happy birthday, Christian. I'll do my own sound effects. Happy birthday, Christian. I'm sorry we gave you the 8th pick. I'm so
It's all
sorry.
good, man.
Now
But you know what, man? Look, I love your draft. I'm gonna be honest. I love your draft. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. Excellent. It was my favorite film for a long time. Never-ending story. One of the most amazing but like tragic films because Artax in like the pit of doom. I couldn't handle it as a kid. I still can't handle it. Artax, I feel you, brother. Atreyu, I feel you. Atreyu. Oh my! I was like, oh. Anyways, Shrek 2, you took 3rd overall. Amazing value there. I mean, Shrek 2, guys, come on now. We're talking about fantasy. Shrek 2 is like breaking the 4th wall, winking at us, having fun. It's just such a fun picture. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, one of my favorite comedies of all time. That's also a value pick. Cubo and the Two Strings by Leica Studios. I don't know how popular Cubo is, but
I
it's
agree,
technically
yeah.
amazing. It's technically amazing.
Mhm.
The stop motion on that's amazing, especially when he's just strumming his like little string and then he's bringing these little paper figures to life. Cubo is so fun. Bridge to Terabithia, I haven't seen. I've heard nothing but good things. I heard it'll make me cry. I'm not ready to cry tonight, so I will not watch it. Christian, happy birthday again. How would you
Yeah.
grade this team? How happy are you with the team that you got?
I'm actually very happy with the team that I have. I was trying to go more of like, the storybook route. The only, like, I mean, obviously, since I was 8th pick, like, it would have been amazing to have Lord of the Rings on my team, but it is what it is. I almost went with at least the first Hobbit movie because I think that is the better of the 3, but I don't know how a lot of people feel about it, like in general. So that's all. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna not overthink it and go there. Obviously, Prisoner of Azkaban, the best Harry Potter movie out there. But honestly, there really isn't a bad Harry Potter movie. They went 8 for 8, but really just depends on which ones you enjoy. I actually hated Prisoner of Azkaban when it first came out when I was a kid. But
Wow.
it grew to be my favorite.
Christian.
Book fans unite.
But Neverending Story, of course, it's pure fantasy, pure magic, and just
I'm
everything.
so confused.
A little bit before my time, but
wait, so wait, your first pick ever, or your first pick overall, was a movie you used to hate?
yeah, when I was a kid, it used to
feel
scare
it.
the crap out of me. It was the weirdest thing ever, but now I love it.
That was the movie that like changed everything with that franchise.
Yeah,
And that was,
he's literally going into the entire crew is got the adolescence type situation. Monty Python, Shrek 2, of course, one of the best soundtracks out there. I love that movie so much. It's like it will never not get enough love. Monty Python, of course, it's such a I just love that movie so much. I accidentally watched it one time with my friend and it was just on and I was like, oh, this is like really funny. And it just has that comedy vibe to it as well, which is I was kind of looking for. Kubo and the Two Strings. I think this is probably my weakest between this and Bridges to Terabithia, because Bridges to Terabithia came out like early 2000s. I think it was 06 or 07. But like I read the book and I watched the movie and it just broke me. And it's like it's so I need to watch it again to be completely honest.
Bridges.
But yeah, I think I'm really happy with this team. I would give it like a solid 9 out of 10. Of course, like obviously with Lord of the Rings, but it's like Harry Potter is like the next big juggernaut. But it's been so long since we've really had like a great fantasy film franchise or just movie in itself. It's very hard because a lot of people are trying to reach those juggernauts instead of trying to make something more original. But it is what it is. But I really like this team. I'm very, very happy with it.
Hey, really quick, guys, before we open the floor, Ryan gives you a 9. He thinks you went full fantasy, the second best Potter. Neverending Story, Shrek 2. You got to steal the Kubo, and he hasn't seen Monty Python. Cliff thinks Kubo's amazing. Shrek 2 is amazing. Prisoner of Azkaban is second best. And overall, holy grail for the old person vote. You know what? Old person's united. Look, Monty Python, whether you've seen it or not, it is a fantastic picture, and I recommend you do. I don't know the difference between an African swallow or a European swallow, but because of this film, it matters to me.
It does.
Let's open up the floor, guys. I think Prisoner of Azkaban is an all-time classic. What do you guys think? How did Christian do?
I think that Azkaban and Shrek 2 alone will carry him.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to go far just because of those two. Not saying that the other ones aren't like great or strong, but knowing Twitter, like they're just going to see Prisoner of Azkaban or Shrek 2 and be like, yep, voting. And like that's what's going to end up happening.
I think Azkaban at number 8 is an absolute steal. I don't know how that fell to number 8.
I was very surprised. I had my backup Harry Potter movies, man, but I was praying for it.
I'm speaking for myself. I respect the hell out of the Neverending Story pick in the second round, man. Absolutely adore that film so much. Shrek 2 is a banger, 100%. Monty Python Holy Grail is a banger, 100%. Kubo is amazing. Bridge to Terabithia sucks, but the rest of the movie is really, really good.
Yeah, that's the weak
Cry.
for sure.
I feel like between the last two, it's like I really wanted to choose like Studio Ghibli movie, and I was like, well, I could have chose like Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, or My Neighbor Totoro. But I'm like, those really they didn't hit the same way that I was hoping, and of course, Spirited Away and the others are kind of taken. I almost chose Weathering with You.
That would have been.
I almost chose it, and I love that film so much, but I wasn't sure how well. Much like Your Name, it's like I love them both.
Yeah.
But it's like how many people out there, in Twitter world, will like actually have seen it, because it's one thing to watch animation, it's another thing to watch Japanese animation.
Mm-hmm.
I love.
It's also.
I love this list, and I just want to say, like, you replaced like one of those movies with Bridge to Terabithia. Although it's a great fantasy film, I don't know how many people are going to vote for it, but like this is almost perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is a really strong list.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think you could have gone with just Shrek instead of Shrek 2. I think Shrek's the better fantasy film because you already
Shrek was already drafted though.
Yeah, I almost got
shoot,
Crouching
right.
Tiger, Hidden
But
Dragon,
Shrek
but
2
Deibs
is
took it
low-key
from me.
better.
I think
Sorry.
Shrek 2 is better.
Thank
I
you,
love
Anne.
Shrek 2.
Yes.
It's like 60-40. Most people think Shrek 2 is better, but they're wrong. But you got like
No,
some
they're not.
winking and nudging with Monty
Right.
Python and Shrek. You got some sincerity with Neverending Story and POA. You got Kubo, which is a genius pick, but I don't think it's going to pull much on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't think
You got
so.
Bridge of Terabithia, which again, not going to pull much on Twitter. I think this is a really good draft. I think this is a quality draft, one of the better full fantasy routes. No pandering here. I'm a little scared about its full potential just because you're relying on POA and Shrek 2 a lot.
I'm curious, like just like Hook, like I'm curious how people are going to vote for Neverending Story.
I'm curious too. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, before,
It's
like
so good.
Like Neverending Story and Monty Python were like clear before my time, you know, when they came out in theaters and stuff. But I mean, I love them both. So yeah, I just wanted to go kind of like the fairy tale storybook route, and I think I did a pretty good job.
Mhm.
You know, it's I mean, being 8th place, like, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and I don't know. I mean, The Hobbit, I was like, it's.
I think we all thought that towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, should we
Nobody
watch the
chose The
Hobbit?
Hobbit.
I can't believe no one took the Desolation of Smog. I thought that was.
I was going to, but I
I
people
thought
hated
about it, bro, but I'm like, the ending of that movie pissed me off so much. I was like, oh, no.
All right, guys. Hey, we got to keep moving. Christian, I think your team is a 10. It's just I haven't seen Bridge of Terabithia, so I can't.
It's sad,
grade you
man.
too
Bring some
high.
Kleenex.
Dude,
Look, I haven't seen it, but look,
like
it's probably a 10,
Marley
right?
and Me
So-
levels of sad endings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Alright,
watching that, like, when I was watching it on the plane. Like I remember just like my chest was like uncontrollably like bouncing. So I could not stop crying. It was horrible.
All
And I'm
right,
like,
y'all.
I was embarrassed
We're
at
almost-
everyone looking at me.
Reading the script
hey,
and
we're
finding
almost
out
done
you're a
here.
character that dies.
We're almost done here. I want to say, T-Man got pick 9. Check out her young adult novels. She took Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, first overall. The Hayao Miyazaki classic, Howl's Moving Castle, which is one of my favorite scores. I love that film. Number 3, she took The Witches, starring Jack Nicholson. For people that aren't familiar with the original Witches film. Stardust, starring Robert De Niro. Detective Pikachu, starring Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, which I thought was weird, but he pulled it off. I'm not a big Pokemon guy, but it was a fun picture. Ghostbusters, the classic, with Bill Murray, directed by Ivan Reitman, and starring Dan Aykroyd as well. It's an epic list. Anne, what would you grade yourself, and how do you feel about how it played out for you?
So, I mean, a lot of the movies that I wanted to take were either too dystopian, they didn't translate well from book to screen, or they're not out yet. So I was a little disappointed in that. But overall, I think it's a pretty strong list. I mean, I think I stayed true to my audience, minus Ghostbusters and Detective Pikachu. But I love Detective Pikachu, and I figured Ghostbusters would be popular. So I think I grade myself like an 8.5. It's a strong list.
8.5.
I'm just proud of the
8.5.
Stardust
I like it.
because I wanted it bad.
Hey, I'm gonna open the
wanted
floor.
that
Look,
I wanted that
Blood and Bone
Ghostbusters
comes
pick.
out, and then we can add that to my list.
hey, shouts out Matthew Vaughn. Like I said, Matthew Vaughn, before he did Kingsman and X-Men First Class, he did do Stardust. So hats off to him. Open floor, guys. Hot takes, cold takes. What do we think of Anne's team?
You're very brave for choosing Percy Jackson in the Lightning Thief in the first round, but like, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I really do like this list. You know, Stardust is amazing. The Witches. I feel like Ghostbusters might like raise some heads or turn some heads here or there, but I mean, Detective Pikachu is still one of like the best like video game movies out there for sure. So I think you get a lot of love with that because I mean, he's, you know, Japanese Mickey. But overall, I think it's a really solid list for sure.
I don't see a single thing on here, sadly, that is going to pull singular votes, in my opinion. That's my one worry for you. Is I don't know who is looking at all of the movies on all these lists and going one of these as the one that kind of gets
The
their
Pokemon
eye.
fandom.
Like it's good overall.
How's
Maybe
also has a
Pikachu.
fandom.
Yeah. I mean, Howl's is amazing, so you might get some with Howl's because there are probably people that think it's the best Miyazaki movie. But I mean, I love the list and all the movies on it, but I just don't know how it's gonna translate.
Yeah, it really depends on
Well
who you
said.
go up against.
Yeah, and I respect the hell out of you for sticking to your heart here, but you're going down round one. Like this is what it is. I mean, how Moving Castle was amazing, but no, I don't know. I mean, you've got Alexander Daddario on your team. There's that.
Yeah, but there's also Keira Knightley on other teams. So, like, even in the hot person contest, it still doesn't win enough.
But guys, it's from the director of
then
The
they have
Philosopher's
Ryan
Stone and
Reynolds.
Chamber of Secrets.
I figure there's all that like buzz around Percy Jackson now with the new.
That is
It's a
true.
very smart
That's right.
choice. I have to admit,
That's
it's a very
very
smart
smart.
choice.
I can't wait for that show, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for the show either. I'm very excited. Very
I got the
excited.
hottest take. I've never
Oh, no.
seen a letterbox list that would be rated 3.5 that I'm like, you know what, this might actually get carried because of Howl's Moving Castle. Like Ghostbusters is like maybe a 3.5. Detective Pikachu's got that like 3.5. Stardust, really good, but I haven't seen it.
Whoa.
So I'm throwing
Ghostbusters is
Pikachu
equal
shade.
to Detective Pikachu. Get the fuck out of here.
No, Detective Pikachu is
No,
way
one's
better than
about
Ghostbusters.
something and one's about nothing.
Get out of
Way
here.
better.
No.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on,
Pikachu
guys.
is
All
way
right,
better than Ghostbusters.
But
All right,
Howl's
we're
Moving
over
Castle
2
is really
hours.
good, and I'm
We're
mad
over
that you
2
stole
hours.
it
Let's
from me.
let's round it up. I think Anne did a great job. Again, I haven't revisited The Witches in a while, but I love Howl's Moving Castle, and Ghostbusters is an iconic film. Let's get to our last pick of the draft, Team Benjamin. And look, man, I said it. If Jalyn would have took a Lord of the Rings film and they all went ahead of me, I would have went Pan's Labyrinth with my first overall pick. Guillermo del Toro, amazing picture. Just such one of the most terrifying moments in cinema, whether it's fantasy or horror, or whatever you want to call it. The pale man with the eyes in his hands, and she ate the grapes. I was like, Ophelia, no! And I was like, my heart was racing out of my chest. Pan's Labyrinth is a fantastic film. And interestingly enough, besides the pale man, Captain Vidal, played by Sergio Lopez, was one of the most terrifying villains ever.
Absolutely.
Beauty and the Beast also had a great villain, Gaston. Kiki's Delivery Service with the magical witch and cat. Miyazaki, it has an audience. I haven't seen it. That's my bad. Kung Fu Panda 2, I think it's excellent. I think it's fun. Not my favorite DreamWorks picture, but I think Kung Fu Pandas as a series is a good series. Monsters Inc. is a classic. I think a lot of people love Monsters Inc. I don't know anyone that doesn't like it. The Green Knight is your only questionable pick, my man. I think
Questionable.
No, look, I think it's excellent. I think the cinematography is amazing. I think that Deb Patel is great. I think that David Lowery is an underrated storyteller. Like, why does he not get praise and Robert Eggers does? But look, The Green Knight, The Green Knight had a so-so box office, and pretty much like the only buzz it got was from film Twitter, and it makes you wonder like how much will people vote for you? I don't know, but Benjamin, break it down, man. I know you're a team animation from the get. You got some bangers: Beauty and the Beast, Kung Fu Panda, Monsters Inc. How do you like your team? How would you grade yourself, Benjamin? Go ahead, man.
All right, we're gonna start from the top. I was initially thinking fantasy films, and we brought this up like last time I was on the draft in like the group chat, and I was like, oh, that'd be so fun. We get to throw the Green Knight in, Lord of the Rings will be there. And then I was drawn last, and I was like, once I missed the third spot, I was like, all right, I want to be like lower in the end, because then I can try and make a swing play later. And I was like, what the heck do I do? And then I realized animated films, they're basically all fantasy to some way or form, and Disney led the charge in the 90s along with Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. And I was like, all right, that's the new pivot. Pan's Labyrinth was my one serious picture that I was like, if the first round's going, I need to take it, because it is top 10 films of all time for me. And I think it's scary. I think it's relevant. I think it's beautiful. It's awe-inspiring. It's like made right around when Del Toro did Hellboy. And it carries so many of the same tropes, where if Hellboy wasn't a superhero thing, I would have also debated taking it, because it has a very fantastical element. Beauty and the Beast, I wanted to go Lion King because everyone loves Lion King, but no, we can't choose that, but we'll allow Alito Bow Angel. Anyway, Beauty and the Beast was the easy second pick because it's such a fantasy film. No one's going to argue about it. And it was nominated for Best Picture. Need I say more? We got Kiki's Delivery Service, which was I need to take something from Ghibli, and if I can't get Howl's Moving Castle, if I can't get Princess Mononoke, if I can't get Spirited Away, I'm going Kiki's Delivery Service. It makes me cry. It feels relatable. I feel like if you've seen the film, you love it. And I feel like I have enough other heavy hitters that compare to other Ghibli films that it works, where it's like, oh, you picked the personal one. Let's do it. Kung Fu Panda 2 is one that I see get thrown a lot of like, it's all right. But then there's people on my timeline that are always like, yo, this is actually the best DreamWorks film. The action in it is unparalleled. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is really good, but the bridge sequence in Kung Fu Panda 2, unmatched. Monsters, Inc. went up against Shrek for Oscars. Or actually, was that the year after? It might have been the year after. Either way, everybody loves Monsters, Inc. I think that is a strong last pick. I need something Pixar. I need to continue Team Animation Nation. And then The Green Knight was rounding it out, and I was my favorite film of last year that wasn't animated. And I'm very happy with it. I think it might not get as much love outside of film Twitter, but luckily, this is on Twitter, and this is for film Twitter, and I think it'll get some love. Overall, I'm giving myself probably close to an 8 for this list. I feel like animation is really good, but some people might not look at that the same way. I don't have Lord of the Rings, I don't have Pirates, I don't have Harry Potter, and those are conscious decisions I made, but they might bring me down.
Hey, look, real quick before I open the floor, guys, I think Benjamin has the best team that doesn't have Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I mean, Guillermo del Toro, Beauty and the Beast, Best Picture nominee, Monsters, Inc. I think you have an excellent team, sir. Real quick, Ryan was grading Anne's team. He gave you a 7.5 for Ghostbusters and Percy Jackson. He gives Benjamin a 9.5. He doesn't like Pan's Labyrinth, which I don't understand, but he says Kiki was a great pick in round 3. All right, guys, look, like I said, I would have picked Pan's Labyrinth at 4. So I love it. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? How did Benjamin do?
I had Pan's Labyrinth in my top 5. And I think we just immediately became best friends with you saying it's top 10 all time. It is. This is one of the arguably the best Del Toro film of all time. And Pan's Labyrinth, that score, if you just type in on YouTube like Pan's Labyrinth suite, that'll be in your head for the next week. I promise you. Beauty and the Beast is a film that I think carries really well on Twitter. I think it was a great round 2 selection. That was really well done. Never seen Kiki's Delivery Service. Kung Fu Panda 2 is terrific. I love all of those movies. And I'm not sure how that's going to vote, but I know everybody loves Monsters, Inc. Everybody loves Monsters, Inc., at least in my opinion. I've never seen Green Knight, but based on Pan's Labyrinth, Beauty and the Beast, and Monsters, Inc., I give you a solid 9.
So you pissed me off to start and to end. I'll say that.
Whoa.
No, in the sense of you took the ones that I wanted to take. I was hoping that Pan's Labyrinth was going to loop back around and I was going to snag that because it wasn't many people behind me. But I'm fine with that. Green Knight, I'm in the same boat there. I loved that film last year, and I was surprised it didn't last. But I think honestly, Lowe brought up a really good point about it. There are only certain people that have seen it. I mean, those people who have seen it love it. So it's pure fantasy. That's exactly what it is, you know. Beauty and the Beast, I'm not gonna repeat what everyone else said about it, but I think with Kiki's and Kung Fu Panda, I think they're good, but I think I don't know how much weight they carry, especially on Kiki's Delivery Service. I mean, I understand that you were picking it because the Miyazaki, the more famous ones were pretty much gone at that point, but it's one of those things that we talked about, other people have said about some other anime films that I'm not sure how many non-anime fans have seen it, and it's, even though it's good, it's just, at least for me, it's not at the top of Miyazaki films or even Ghibli films for that matter. There are worse ones for sure, but it's, I just don't think it carries. It's too far into the obscure ones that I feel that not a lot of people have seen it. And yeah, I do love Monsters Inc. I think is a great like steal that late in the rounds though. But I would say, I don't know, 8.8 ish, maybe 9 ish, somewhere in that vicinity.
For anyone that's seen Pan's Labyrinth,
There it is. It'll be in your head all night. All night.
like,
It
oh
already
my god, I
was.
love that
Reading
score so much. Like, oh my god.
It's the best. It's the best.
Also, I love that you pulled up the Criterion artwork for it.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
so
No,
good.
thank you,
bless him.
Benjamin. No, seriously. I mean, I thought Pan's Labyrinth would be mine. I'm being honest. I didn't think Lord of the Rings would fall to me, but it did, so I went that route. With that being said, everybody, that rounds up our draft. I want to thank everybody on this panel. You guys did a fantastic job. Look, guys, we don't always share the same opinions, but you know what? When we don't, it makes for entertaining discussion and debate. And I hope that everyone watching enjoyed just as much as we did. Starting from the bottom, let's just give a quick shout out to everybody that's still here. Benjamin, man, where can people find you and what do you have going on, man?
All right, you can find me on Twitter at ninja_neb or on Letterboxd at Benjamin_weeb. What I got going on, currently just finished school, wrapped up finals last week, so it's back to that film review grind. Gonna be posting some stuff shortly. I'll be tweeting it out, so go follow me there if you want to hear my not super sarcastic stuff. I shit talk a lot on the podcast, but in real life, I like to think I'm a half decent person. Yeah. Follow me, vote Animation Nation in the polls, show people that it's not just a medium, it's an entire style that's worthy of fantasy as a whole.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Benjamin. Follow him at NinjaNeb, _Neb, right? Ninja_Neb. Please follow
Yep.
the man. Hey, look, guys, I wouldn't have taken Princess Mononoke as early as I did if it weren't for the pressure I've received from those kind of drafts. So look, next up, we got the formal review, man. You, me, we think alike. We know this, man. What you got going on your channel, man? And again, thank you for joining us, Formal. How you doing, man?
Well, thanks for having me. It's always fun. Like, I've gotten close, never won yet, but we'll see what happens this year. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, I just saw the Doctor Strange film, so my analysis will be coming out on that in the next day or so. So, yeah, and more films in the coming weeks. But yeah, you can check me out on Twitter, the Gram, Facebook, Letterboxd. It's the same URL. It's that pretty much on everything, so it's easy to find.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Formal. We have our new contestant, Aaron, representing Feelin Film. What's going on new with your channel? Thank you for joining us, Aaron. You did an excellent job, man. I really appreciate that. You picked movies that were important to you, and I love that. Like, that's what this is about, man. Aaron, where can people find you, and what do you got going on, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been an admirer for a while, and it's nice to finally be in the hot seat. And it's a lot hotter than it looks from the outside. That's for sure. Yeah, Feelin Film is the movie podcast, weekly spoiler-free reviews of new releases. So, like, Top Gun will be dropping tomorrow morning. Check that out and check out the film because it's freaking amazing.
So
Also, weekly spoiler in-depth reviews with my best friend. We kind of take an approach of emotional response to movies more than a technical one. We don't really try to hit all the technical analysis points. We just talk about how they made us feel and how we reacted to them. And then just started up a video game podcast again called The Games We Love. So if that's your thing, check that out as well. And all the socials are, I don't know, I've got link trees at Feelin Film, and at Aaron L. White is my personal handle on everything you could ever imagine. But thanks again. Thank you guys for having me. This was awesome.
Hey, it's our pleasure, Aaron. We were really glad to have you, honestly, man. One of 4 sit-up geeks from the 6, Candid Cinema, Team Manda. She's sorry about everything.
it's true.
Hey, we heart you, Manda, even though, look, this wasn't your
Canadians
best
stand
draft.
together.
Wait, hold up. Look, Manda, I back you up no matter what, but this wasn't
Thank
your
you.
strongest draft.
I know. Jesus,
But, you know-
you didn't even take a breath. You're just like, listen, I gotta.
I was gonna keep it going, but look. With that being said, What you got going on, Manda? What you got for us? I know you got a couple good reviews for us. So.
I actually have a lot. I have senior year review with Rebel Wilson coming out. I have Firestarter, which I have to review. I reviewed The Lincoln Lawyer, which is a series coming out on Netflix, so I reviewed that. And then I just watched Men this morning from Alex Garland, who I absolutely adore. And I really like this movie, so that review is coming up next as well. So I have those 4. But yeah, check me out here and then over at AMX NDA review. I can't do it. Yeah, there. You can follow me.
As she said, she's one of the 4 Suit Up Geeks. Follow us on the Twitter at Suit Up Geeks and follow Candid Cinema, YouTube, and other. You have your own website, right, Amanda?
Yes. Thank you.
Next up, Mr. Christian, happy birthday again. I can't say that enough.
Thanks.
You know what? Look, people don't like it, but you know what? Happy birthday. Enjoy it, man.
Thanks.
Film Optics. What you got going on, Christian?
So yeah, definitely check out our audio-only podcast, Film Optics, where we talk about comic book movies, blockbusters, indie films, and everything in between. Most recently, we actually just dropped our Moon Knight episode 6 review with Leo Rydell over from Geekly Goods. And we actually also just dropped our spoiler-free review of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where Amanda came on and talked some shop with us there. Coming up, we're not entirely sure what we're going to be doing. My co-host is a little bit MIA right now, but I am planning a Downton Abbey New Era review. Might be having a few people on for that. You can follow us on, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, you name it. So yeah, we might do a Firestarter. It's kind of like a weird dry spell for us right now, but definitely keep a lookout for our Downton Abbey New Era review. Hopefully it will be dropping sometime this week because I just saw that last night. Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, you're welcome, Christian.
Wow.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. And what's interesting is Firestarter is a Stephen King novel. The original film back in the 80s starred Drew Barrymore. But really, who asked for this remake and how is it starring Zac Efron? I don't know. You know what? If people like it, that's awesome. Last but not least, and Daleview, our resident young adult author. I'm so glad you were here to join us.
My one.
No, but seriously, I'm really glad Anne was able to join us. Where can people find you and what you got going on?
Yeah, so Anne Daleview, you can see my handle here on Instagram and and Twitter, and it's Anne Daleview 2 on TikTok. But I have my book is called A Tale of Ashes, and it is the story of a teen journalist solving a case of disappearances on her boarding school campus. The next book is coming out in July, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling with the same characters in modern day settings. So if you want a free copy, feel free to DM me on any platform for an advanced review copy because we're building up those reviews. So definitely check me out. I'm in Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can order me at your local bookstore. All over. Love it.
That sounds very Belle adjacent.
I love it.
Modern day.
I love
Beauty
it. And
Beast.
we don't get many.
Modern day Beauty and the Beast. What would happen if a polar bear showed up at your house in suburban Pennsylvania and kidnapped you and dragged you to a cursed castle in a fairyland?
I like that.
Epic indeed. And you know what? Look, Bat Nipples, wake up. Ryan, just Ryan again. Deibs right next to me, Mr. Crockpot. I am Marcellus Durden on Twitter and Letterboxd. Look, me and him and Ryan, we represent the other half of Suit Up Geeks. We want to thank everybody for being here. We are a proud member of the Music City Drive-In Network, the Music City Drive-In podcast. Please check them out, musiccitydrivein.com. For Benjamin, Formal, Aaron at Feelin Film, Manda at Candid Cinema, Christian at Film Optics, and Daleview. Please check her out, young adult author. Ryan at Just Ryan again, Mr. Crockpot, and myself. We are the Suit Up Geeks. Thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe down below. Until next time, vote on Twitter at the Suit Up Geeks for the all of the people involved in this draft. We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much.
Hey,
guys.
Bye.